doggy! Oh wait, hold on. Let me mute that. I don't want that to make noise. Okay. Dots. Dots. I'm dreaming. Elaine, how about this? Ah, that's no good. They're similar, but that one's poisonous. Oh, so we can't eat it. You're welcome to give it a try if you don't mind an upset stomach. Cardia, Mama, look, look! I turn around and see Eddie wearing a crown of flowers, laughing in the light coming in through the trees. Now we're heading back home after helping Elaine with her work. Once we're back, I'm going to show her my knitting. Elaine taught me how to do it, and I've been practicing during the night. I forgot Cardia could knit. They're both going to be so surprised. What is it? Why are you smiling? It's nothing. I'll tell you later. Oh, I wonder what it could be. I can't wait. I nod to her as Eddie runs towards us, waving. Ah, I'm so happy. I want to live like this forever. Forever and ever. I'm sorry, Cardia. They're gone. Oh no, you've been asleep for 21 hours. Cardia, no. 9 hours remaining. I look up at this plain ceiling. I can't quite figure out how I got here. Yo! Hi, Franny! He was in the forest with Elaine and Eddie just a moment ago. Alright, that was a dream. I'm also playing Dissidia and fighting brutal enemies with Kane on level 1 for farming. I hope it goes well. I wish you the very best. When I say that out loud, the happy feeling I had fades away. Sorry, I just ate and the hiccup came out of nowhere. My pocket watch by the bed catches my eye and I pick it up. The hand is pointing at the number 9. Meaning I've wasted over 20 hours since I fainted. 9 more hours. In 9 hours I'm gonna become a true monster. And yet... it's all too sudden for me to process and I can't seem to take it seriously. Where is everyone? I'm in a daze and I can't collect my thoughts. Cardia! Oh good, you're awake. Also, if you notice it, I had turned down the voice audio a bit more when I was doing Impy and St. G's playthrough. I was just going and rushing through it. And it's like, oh yeah, let me check and see how the audio was last stream. Oh, the voices were a little too loud, so I turned it down a bit. Victor appears just at the right moment. It's immediately apparent from the look on his face just how worried he had been about me. How do you feel? Does anything feel strange? No, I'm fine, but what is it? I feel the weight of the pocket watch in my hand and silently bow my head towards him. I'm so sorry for sleeping for such a long time. I should be helping more. Victor smiles as if I said something funny. What are you talking about? You were so unwell that you passed out. It's not something to feel guilty about. Oh, and while you were asleep, we tried searching for the Zicterium. I'm almost done, hopefully. Well, that's good! He gently sits down beside me, his face close to mine. Hello. We found some useful information in the process. Information? What is it? Back when I was working on the development of the Philosopher's Stone, there was someone involved in this project who wasn't directly related to its development. We've been able to track this person down. It might not be a straight lead to the Sectarium itself, but it's still a clue. There's always the possibility that it may lead to something. The others who are out there right now are heading there. Victor balls his hands into fists. When he next speaks, it sounds more like he's talking to himself than to me. I'm going to get to the Sectarium before the government does, no matter the cost. If we can just get rid of it, it'll put an end to Victoria's plan. Victor! He must be gripping his fists extremely tightly. It looks as if his nails are digging into his flesh, but he hides his hands from my view. And regarding your poison, I just noticed he's wearing gloves. How do you know his nails are going through into his flesh? I'm sorry, but I haven't made any breakthroughs that would allow me to deactivate it. I see. But I'm so close. I've been trying to do something about it for a while now, ever since I met you. I've been applying all the knowledge I have. I know I'm so close to finding a cure. Victor looks down, his eyes filled with frustration and rage. He's telling the truth. He probably has been trying to find a way to help me all this time. I can tell how hard he's been working just by taking one glance at him. Thank you. I whisper my appreciation. But I wonder, when he hears me say this, his expression turns to be one of pain. I'd do anything for you. I want to save you, even if I have to give my life in exchange. He says this, almost like it's a warning to himself. It's as if he's telling himself that he must be prepared to die for my sake. His eyes are kind as he says this, though. Why? Why would you sacrifice so much for me? What? I'm not even human. I'm a monster created to spread its deadly poison. Everyone should be revolted by my very existence. I deserve to be chased away wherever I go. My life isn't worth yours. My voice is barely above a whisper, but it's filled with genuine emotion. My words could have been taken as rejection, but Victor gently smiles at me. I told you before, you're not a monster. You're a normal girl and you deserve happiness each and every day. And I don't want to lose you. I want to save you and only you. And here is Victor acting like a sea in love. Why do you call me out? His words are serious. If I really do become an uncontrollable creature, that would probably mean I would drag him to his death without any hesitation. I'm going to take this kindness that he's showing me and completely shatter it. I'm terrified that this will all come to pass in such a short time. Don't be so kind to me, I want to be alone. God, I don't remember what the right choice is. It's been years. Calling you out is fun. Hi, Choco. Don't be kind to me. Victor, stop treating me so kindly. I'm going to turn into a real monster soon. If that happens, whatever we have between us will be over. It'll probably be less painful for both of us if we don't have many memories to look back on, so... No, I'm going to stay with you. Why? It's going to get you killed. I couldn't bear that. Victor's death. Just thinking about the concept makes my mind go numb. But he takes May's hand and says with a quiet determination, I honestly do not remember this many typos in Victor's route. I remember Impies being full of typos when I played this on Vita years ago. It's not that I'm afraid of death. What I'm really afraid of is running away from you. I don't want to scream and cry and leave you behind without fighting or putting up any kind of resistance. I don't want to be like that anymore. My chest grows tight. Victor's kindness is almost painful. It's my fault Cardia was created. The words I saw so clearly in that book won't leave my head. What am I to Victor? Am I the only one who thinks of him as a friend, or maybe even something more? Oh, Cardia. I've gathered from his conversation with Queen Victoria that Victor is not my father. Then why would he write something like that, like it's my fault, in his book? What must be going on through his head when he looks at me now? Soon I won't be me any longer. My restlessness and anxiety are causing me to become more and more negative. Cardia, what's the matter? Do you feel unwell? I shake my head, then make up my mind. Victor, there's one thing I need to apologize to you for. Apologize? When you left St. Germain's mansion, I searched your room, trying to figure out where you went. And I found your journal there. Journal? Oh, you didn't. Maybe it's now it's Guardian Siva. Maybe it's friendship. I did. I looked through it, and you wrote that it's your fault that I was created. I need to know what it means. I need answers. Victor can tell what I'm asking without me having to say it. He falls silent, averting his eyes from mine. If I'm going to lose myself in 9 hours, I want to know. I may never again have the opportunity to find out. Tell me, Victor. I want to know about you. I don't care if it's something I won't like hearing. I just want to know. I want my thoughts to be of you until the very end. Oh, Cardia, you got it bad, sweetie. Cardia. The soft sound of the clock ticking fills the small room. Victor. I see him struggle.
Yeah?
Whether to speak or hold his silence, he wrestles with the indecision for a moment, and then he heaves a long, deep sigh as if he's come to a difficult decision. I try to keep my writing in that journal limited to only subjects of my research. It's not very scientific to add your own emotions, and technically it's unnecessary when you're only keeping records. But I couldn't help but write that. It's like I was able to shout and release all my thoughts I couldn't share. Victor forces a wry smile as if laughing to himself. Every time, I think about ripping those pages out, throwing them away, but I always leave them. I'm sorry for reading your journal, but I was worried about you. I know, it's alright. Our eyes meet and eventually he gives me a slight nod. I'll tell you everything. Even if that means you might despise me for it, but I don't care. I deserve that after what I've done. I'd never despise you. I've been watching you with my own eyes. You're important to me. He smiles in response, then looks up at the ceiling, searching for the right words. I'm not sure where to start. He looks down at the floor, then back up at me. I don't think I can explain it properly. Is that alright? I don't mind. His lips begin to weave his story, hesitantly at first, but slowly picking up speed. The story of his life until this very day. He shares a story with me filled with guilt and regret. Alright, another sad boy's backstory. I'm originally Swiss at birth. I came to Britain wanting to become an alchemist, and was lucky to have my wish granted by entering the Royal Society. There, of course, I studied alchemy and carried out research. I made deductions based on past data, experimented, and considered the results. I was completely captivated by the new modern form of alchemy based on the scientific method. We found treatments for diseases that were thought incurable and created new forms of material that could benefit society. It almost felt like magic. I lived every day completely absorbed in my work. It was a fulfilling time. Then, one day, a paper of mine was highly regarded, and I was given a position of a lead researcher on a huge project backed by the government. The plan was to recreate the Philosopher's Stone. It could change base metals into gold, extend one's lifespan into immortality, and even create new souls. An unparalleled feat that no alchemist thought history had been able to accomplish. I was chosen to be the one responsible for making it a reality. Obviously, it was a great honor. That's what I thought at the time. My research might lead to improving the lives of many people. It would be the first step to achieving a new world. I accepted this assignment with enthusiasm. I moved forward with the research, taking advantage of the massive funding, and was deemed to be a success. Deemed to succeed, sorry. But in the end, I wasn't able to create the Philosopher's Stone. Hello? Why did you send me a party invitation? The only thing I did create in the process that resulted in useless deadly toxin, just Zicterium. I was held responsible for that failed research project and had to leave the Royal Society. Squint. When things were at their worst for me, Isaac, your father, took me in. He told me that my talents were second to none. He put a good word in for me and got me a new job as the government's head alchemist. I was thrilled. I didn't know anything at the time. No, maybe I simply didn't want to know. There's still more I can do to contribute, and I'll do whatever it takes to deliver results that can help someone. And that's what was going through my head. So I devoted myself to research. My task was to research Zicterium, and my job was to break it down and analyze the poison. This was something that Isaac had directly suggested that I do. The data extracted from such studies could benefit future research. Now is the time for perseverance, he told me. It made me happy. I was so sure that everyone had abandoned me. He said that he had the support of the Queen Victoria as well, and the meeting with him was so encouraging. I was so proud to be doing something again. I didn't even know what my research was really going towards. When the war with the vampires broke out, I heard a rumor that what they had planned the purpose of Zicterium I created was going to be used for. A weapon. I couldn't believe my ears. At first I couldn't accept it. I approached the Queen right away. Using Zicterium as a weapon would cause more irreparable loss and take an enormous number of lives. She met with me, and after listening to everything I said, she said that she would accept my recommendation. But she still wanted me to continue my research on Zicterium. She believed the research would lead to a new path for humanity. And that's what she said. And I believed her. I was such a fool. All I thought about was my research, and I knew nothing about the workings of the world. When I found out that Zicterium was to be put into use in a war, I was dumbfounded and furious. I was angry at Isaac, Victoria, the government, and most of all at myself for being so ignorant and foolish to believe them. I had let them deceive me so easily into creating a murder weapon for them. I used my credentials as a lead researcher to rush to where the weapon was going to be used. I thought that there was still a chance for me to put a stop to it, but it was too late. What I saw there was hell. Mothers protecting their children, children clinging to their parents, men, women, children, and adults. It didn't matter who they were all equally dead. Their faces grimaced in grimaces of agony, lying helpless on the ground. What is this? How stupid could I have been? What was I thinking, being so proud to be part of this research? Research to help humanity. Is this what this is? This isn't what I wanted to do. Not at all. No, I didn't want this. It's not my fault. The words spill from my mind as unstoppable as a flood. My eyes turn to the body lying before me and our eyes meet. I felt like he was calling out to me for help. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This isn't... I ran from it all. I might have tried to stop Zicterium from being used as a weapon again, or demanded responsibility from the Queen. I could have fought, I could have done something, anything, but I was too afraid. I ran. I was just trembling, unable to face what I had done. Zicterium continued to play a large role during the Vampire War, and many vampires fell from that deadly poison. Many lives were lost because my research was abused. After a while, I found out that the government was storing copious amounts of Zicterium, preparing for some kind of contingency. They're going to use it for murder again someday. That's when I came to a decision. I decided that I would rid the world of any Zicterium that remains in this world with my own 2 hands. I made that my mission. And this is why he's a sad boy. I had heard, though only through a rumor, that Isaac was experimenting with homunculi. He looks down as he speaks. That's why when I met you and saw the horologium in your chest, I made the connection right away. The horologium would have never existed if it hadn't been for Zicterium. That's why there's poison in you, and that poison will become terribly powerful in a mere 9 hours. All the pain you've suffered until now, all the pain you'll suffer for the rest of your life, it's all my fault. Victor's voice and hands are both shaking. My intention wasn't to save you, it was to save myself. By curing you, I wanted to escape from the crimes of my past. He looks at me with wavering eyes, barely able to contain the intensity of his emotions. I'm a despicable coward. Victor, you made this poison, or thank you? I'm pretty sure thank you is the right one in this case for a good end. Come here, boy. Thank you, Victor. Huh? I haven't done anything to deserve your thanks. My evil experiments were being used to create the poison within you. Why would you thank me? If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. I'm alive because you created Zicterium. That's a fact that can't be denied. I'm so happy that I've had you in my life. In life I've lived up to today. I'm happy to have met you and spent time with you. Your research did create a terrible weapon, but still, it's thanks to you that I'm even alive. Cardia. So, thank you, Victor. Victor trembles. I continue to embrace him, wrapping him up, trembles and all. Thank you, Cardia. Victor had probably been hating himself this whole time. He ran away once, and ever since then, he continued to face his past mistakes. He was hurt and he had suffered, but he's still trying to take a stand against it all once again. Then I want to stay by his side. He gave me a chance at life, this kind and timid, yet utterly courageous person. I'm going to fight it until the end. Give the boy a hug, he needs it. Then, I don't know how much time had passed. Check the clock, because you only had 9 hours left. Victor pulls himself away from me and looks at me with determination in his eyes. I'll say it again, Cardia. I will save you, no matter what. He grips my hands firmly. I wonder when that you became so precious to me. I feel like whatever I was looking for ever since I ran away 2 years ago is within you. I won't let them get away with terrorism. I'm going to get that poison out of you. I'll find a way. Victor's eyes gleam with conviction and a strong desire to make amends for his past. So strong that he wouldn't think twice about sacrificing his own life to get what he wants. Victor. I feel that it's a very, very sad thing. Victor's held captive by his guilt. And what's worse, he wants to be held captive by it and continues to suffer. Oh, this poor boy. Okay, an hour. "8 hours remain. Oh, please don't tell me we're gonna go see, Sholmes. I didn't think he was in this route. Please tell me he's not in this route. I forgot. Shortly before the exchange with Victor. This is the place. The sunset dyes the city with its colors. Van Helsing looks up at the red tinted walls of the mansion. Please tell me we're not going to his place. Let's hope that the clues concerning Zicterium can be pieced together. This is such an ordinary residential area. His research was such a big deal, but he lives in a place like this. No, please God, no, please. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not. If I was correct, it was only really on Van's, and I know he has a huge role in Lupin's. I honestly cannot remember if he's in Victor's. I know he's not in Impy or St. Germain's though, because I just ran through all those. If you want to hide a tree, the best place to put it is in a forest. An ordinary place attracts a lot less attention than a special one. This person was involved with Zicterium. I understand how you feel, but do try to hold back. I know! Don't give me orders! Please tell me it's not him. There's no response. He could be out or perhaps asleep. This is odd. Could you explain that? This door doesn't appear to have been opened in some time. There's a faint layer of dirt under the door, and the ground beneath their feet is undisturbed. Okay, maybe we're not at him. Thank God. I was like, let's not bring Sholmes back into this. For those with trained eyes, it's easy to tell when a person passes by, and what type of build they have from small traces. However, there are no such traces here. Huh? Could that mean that he's moved somewhere else, or maybe he doesn't live here anymore? Or could he be in a state that prevents him from leaving his house? He's dead. We'll have to check. Van Helsing, I'm going to unlock the door, so move out of the way. We don't have to. Van Helsing, it can't always be solved by gun. Nope, it's solved by gun. Van Helsing fires his shotgun at the door, and the doorknob is replaced with a gaping hole in the wood. Van Helsing, you're gonna scare the neighbors! Let's go! Wowza! Such violence! Van Helsing is getting desperate. The same could be said about all of us. Now let's go. Van Helsing realizes what happened as soon as he sets foot in the mansion. He knows the smell very well. Okay, we're not at Sholmes. Got a problem? No problem, I got a gun. Van Helsing, no! A nostalgic yet extremely unpleasant aroma. Van Helsing opens the door leading further inside. And finds a man sprawled on the floor. He's not on the floor! Dark red, black blood sticks to the floor and parts the wall. That's a shame they didn't put it in here. It looks like he's dead, and he has been for some time, it would seem. St. Germain enters with a snide remark. He's been shot through the head with a gun. Everything points to suicide. Why would he kill himself? From what I can gather, he somehow found out that the research he was involved in ended up taking the lives of many. The guilt was so immense that he couldn't stand the pain any longer. This is how I interpret this. He chose death to escape from his guilt. This man is yet another victim of the vampire war. They split up to look through different sections of the house until nightfall. They look through all the documents and the books they can find, and even read the handwritten notes on the shelves. Most of what they find is worthless, having nothing to do with Zicterium, but... What's this? As they are going about their research, Van Helsing discovers something written on a scrap of parchment. He slowly picks it up and focuses on what is written there. I ran away. The burden of sin has weighed on me and I couldn't continue this fight. To you who finds this note, I wouldn't mind if you left the body here in this place to rot. But if you have a shred of courage, please take up this fight against the enemy I was unable to face. It may be impossible to believe this, but something terrible has been brewing under the order of Queen Victoria. A world war triggered by a large-scale chemical attacks throughout many European countries. There is also rumors that she's inciting all citizens towards war while keeping quiet about any opposition. He reads it thoroughly, committing every word to memory. Then, his eyes grow wide in surprise as he nears the end. Terrorism will soon begin in London, and blame will be placed upon an agent sent in by certain European countries. The first event will be small attacks on Buckingham Palace, then eventually shift focus onto the citizens. It will start at the outer wall of London. The poor area of town will be The Queen's plan is a bit contrived, by the way. Yeah! This is bad! Van Helsing stuffs the note into his pocket and runs from the room. Hey, Van Helsing, what is it? What happened? Victoria's next target is the poor area of London. To make matters worse, the location of the attack is extremely close to your hideout. What? That means the two we left behind are in danger? Everyone grows pale at NP's suggestion and they follow after Van Helsing. Nah, Van, it's not that bad. It's just a little bad, just a smidge. Could be worse. But then, as they exit the mansion, a distant sound of an explosion thunders through the city. I don't know what happened. An intense jolt threw me off the bed and caused me to slam against the floor. A few seconds later, what is that? What just happened? What is the smoke? We hear voices of confusion and fear from outside. Cardia, are you hurt? I'm fine. I tell him this, though I still don't feel completely well. My body is heavy as I stand up. Then faintly, ever so slight, a sweet scent drifts into my nose. What is this smell? Victor suddenly covers my nose and mouth. His hand is gonna melt! I reflexively try and lash at him to get him away, but Victor has a firm hold on me. These gloves are the same material as your clothes. It's fine. Just don't breathe any of that smoke. I'm sure it's Sectarium. Things aren't hopeless yet. We've got to get away from here. Let's go. Victor lets go of me and I use my sleeve to mask my face. As I follow him out into the street where the city is in panic. Most people are trying to escape the spreading gas, running every which way. However, some are concerned for their loved ones trapped in the smoke. Or perhaps trying to loot houses in the midst of the chaos. Or are attempting to get into the cloud. But after spending some time in the gas, they silently writhe in agony and fall down. Everybody run! The smoke is poison gas! Please run upwind! Victor's shouts are drowned out by the screams of the panicked crowd. Damn it, it's no use. Cardia, can you walk on your own? I don't realize it until he asks me. For some reason, although I've been feeling tired a moment ago, now I feel much better. Yes, I'll be fine. Good. Just run ahead, go upwind, I'll catch you up right away. You want me to leave you here? What are you going to do? I'll stay behind and try and reduce casualties. There are countermeasures to the gas. I won't die that easy. No, wait! Without thinking, I grab his arm as he tries to leave. I'm sorry. When it comes to Sectarium, I can't stand by and pretend not to see it anymore. Victor pulls himself free from my hand and begins to run. He helps people as they are about to be enveloped by the billowing smoke and calls out to them to run. Victor! Yeah, let's go after Victor, why not? Go after the boy. Promise me you'll come back, please, Victor! I will, I promise, don't worry. I shout at him and then start running as fast as my legs will carry me. I'm overcome by nausea, dizziness, and a headache. Oh, I thought when it meant run towards him. Yeah, let's go back for him. Let's not leave the boy in the smoke. Don't go! I ran to Victor right away. Cardia, why did you come back? You know it's dangerous to be here. You're in just as much danger! Ah! Where's the explosion? The smoke? What is going on? The man trips and falls as the smoke rushes forth, about to engulf him. I run to the man before Victor can reach him and pull him away from the gas cloud. This way! Whoa, who are you? The smoke is going to kill you. Run upwind. Kill! Upwind! Got it! After watching the man run off, I turned back to look at Victor. I'm not going to leave you, no matter what you say. I'm going to help you. What should I do? Victor falls silent a moment and then releases a short sigh. I need to go around the buildings in the vicinity and give people directions to escape upwind of the gas. Alright, what about you? I'm going to assist everyone who falls behind. I don't ever want to relive those nightmares from the war. We split up and then do what we can to help the people before the gas reaches them. Some people stay to lend a hand despite the danger. Hurry! Just run! Strangely, I don't feel myself getting worse at all. I actually feel more full of energy. On the other hand, Victor seems to be doing worse and worse. Damn it, I can keep going. He may be an expert on Zectarium, but he's careful not to inhale, and he's careful to not inhale any of the gas. There is a limit to how much he can take. It's impossible that he could be surrounded by poisonous fumes and remain completely unaffected. Eventually, the gas cloud subsides and the officers from Scotland Yard appear in droves. We quietly leave the area behind. Oh, Cardia, you have that poison inside you. I guess you are kind of immune to it. Yeah. We need to go back. There still may be people who need help. Don't push yourself. You can't help anyone in your current condition. Victor looks down in frustration and looks up at me questioningly. And you feel fine. Yes, I didn't inhale any of the gas thanks to your instructions. That's impossible. We were surrounded by a poisonous cloud. There's no way that it couldn't have affected you. What's more, you weren't feeling well to begin with. You're right, though I do feel like I've recovered a bit, though. Recovered? You mean the Horologium's transformation came to a stop? No, wait, could it be... Victor picks up the nearby rock and begins writing some kind of formula on the ground with furious speed. But what's the matter, Victor? Hold on, I've almost got it. Almost! What happens if you run away? I guess it's a bad end, as Victor probably dies, but what happens specifically? Oh, we can go back! I can save right here and we can go back and see. I'm pretty sure it's a bad end. But we can check. I think he does die. Here, hold on, let me save. We'll go back and see if we ditch him. I'll just save it over St. Germain's. Okay! We want this one. Let's see what happens if we ditch the boy, because I honestly don't remember. I know I haven't seen all the, It was fine just going ahead with the plot. Well, it probably won't take too long to just run away from him. I never actually did really all the bad ends in this game, so... This is one of the few Otomes where it's like, yeah, you don't have to die in every way. He's fine! Feels like the Horologium is growing hot again and I ignore everything and continue moving. I keep running upwind just as Victor had told me. I'm tired. Far away from where I first started, I stopped breathing heavily. The dizziness and headache and the intense heat of the Horologium are too much to bear and I lean up against the wall for support. Something's wrong. I just felt myself getting better a short while ago and I start feeling unwell again soon after that. In the inexplicable silence, I checked the pocket watch that Victoria had given me. It shows 7 hours remain. I wonder what Victor's doing. Was he able to escape the poison gas? Victor. I want him to be happy. I want to make him happy. I'm far more concerned about Victor than I am about myself. Once the Horologium transforms, it will release release enough poison to annihilate London. That's what Victoria told me. Before that happens, I need to get away from here and find a place with no people. It'll be alright as long as Victor's alive. Suddenly I notice sounds of footsteps slowly approaching me. Victor? I know it can't be him, but I whisper his name as I turn around. Oh no, it's Alistair! This is certainly no place for a lady, is it, Cardia? Alistair. You know my name. What an honor. Yeah, I saw you all during Van Helsing's route. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, I'm here to escort you by the Queen's orders. I can't resist. No, I no longer have any strength within me to resist. I only have one request for you. What is it? I'm going to become a monster soon. When that happens, will the government be able to see that nobody dies because of my poison? Yes, of course. We have no wish for senseless death. Yes, you do! The extraordinary power that will soon, the extraordinary power that you will soon obtain will be used for peace. I promise. Very well. You made the right choice to not resist. Very wise of you. Well then, shall we go to the place you will, to the place where you will cease to be? Alistair begins walking away and I follow, surrounded by Twilight officers that had appeared out of nowhere to surround me. I know beneath the night sky Victor is out there somewhere. That thought warms the depths of my heart. I'll probably never see him again. With this in mind, I drag my heavy body and continue walking. Oh, it just ends there. Okay. Cardia, don't be so naive, please. Yeah, so you just get captured. You don't get a whole, oh, you don't get to know if Victor lives or not. He's just, you're lost. You don't know. It's done in a matter of minutes. In that short time, he continues jolting down a number of mathematical and chemical equations without stopping to rest once. What a bad end. Yeah, it kind of sucked, to be honest. I've had more bad ends that were kind of shocking. Like, Amnesia has some really good bad ends to it that threw me off so many times. And Caller X Malice has some really good ones as well, because that game actually gets graphic where you see dead bodies and you have to examine them and things like that, because it's like actually a detective game with romance. So that's why I look forward to showing you guys that one, because it actually gets really good at points. I mean, this one gets good, but it also falls flat on stuff, so... And it's yeah, he does the mathematics stuff, which I can't do because I'm gay. And then... That's it. I get it now. Why couldn't I see something so simple? His writing hand comes to an abrupt stop. I understand, it makes sense now. But what is it? Dumb face. Fighting poison with poison. They react to one another, creating a unique chemical compound and canceling out each other. Victor grabs my shoulder and pulls my face close to his. I'm not sure what you're... oh, sorry. I couldn't help it. Victor quickly backs off as he has a sparkle, but he has a sparkle in his eye. I can stop the Horologium transformation. I can save you. What? The remedy for your condition is Zicterium. Really? Yes, really. It's too late to start making more, but if we can find the Zicterium that Finis hid away, yes, you'll be saved. Oh, what a cute boy. Victor's smile is huge, but the next moment his face freezes. What's the matter, Victor? Why, at a time like this... I look around and see what he's reacting to. Oh no, bird people! More bird people! Oh, they're getting closer! Several Twilight soldiers have appeared from the darkness, surrounding us in a tight formation. Oh no! Only 7 hours! What are we gonna do? 7 hours remain. Victoria looks down at the pocket watch similar to the one she'd given to Cardia and quietly takes a breath. The impoverished district should be in a panic by now. Just a small amount of Zicterium creates unfathomable fear. It hasn't changed one bit since the Vampire War. It's like the weapon of the devil himself. Don't you agree, Leonard? As you say. A second terrorist attack after the incident at the palace. I'm sure the fear has been burned into people's minds. She looks down at her nails and speaks nonchalantly in a calm voice. If one tragedy occurs, people easily forget it as one thing of the past. But if the same thing happens multiple times, they start becoming cautious, expecting the next, and are moved by fear. If I can direct that fear, there won't be anyone who opposes the war. Leonhardt, I'll have you know I know you'll have a change of heart because you're Steiner. She continues speaking as if simply airing her thoughts. We'll recreate the same incidents in the capital of each European nation. We'll have them blame these attacks on Britain, and in Britain, we'll publicize that that a continental spy was responsible. That would inflame a war in no time. We shall use Zicterium, the poison of the Horologium, to shower the entirety of Europe in fear. And in the end, through our overwhelming military strength, all shall come under the glorious rule of the British Empire. That is the only way we can exert control in this situation without sinking the world into a protracted war. I've never really seen that word. Isn't that right, Leonhardt? Sure. As a humanitarian, it would be difficult to stand by and watch this unfold, wouldn't it, Leonhardt? If this is what it takes to ensure peace for us in the future. Leonhardt is struggling to hold something back as he responds. Victoria closes her eyes, and she sits for some time thinking about various subjects. Yes, you're exactly right. Obtain the Horologium and Zicterium, then let us move forward with the final stages of this plan. Everything we do is for Britain, and for my beloved people. The strength in her voice could come from the surety of a noble commander, or something else entirely. Queen Victoria, I don't think this is the way you should go about it. Chapter 12, Calamity. Oh no, only 6 hours. Are you alright? You can lean on me. Victor's face is pale as he runs beside me and he seems to be in pain. To be honest, Victoria, you look like you want more power than peace. Yeah. This is because she's a queen bee. You probably inhaled too much of the Zicterium gas. Don't worry about me. We need to concentrate on escaping from Twilight. We continue running, looking around cautiously as we proceed. If we can make it to our rendezvous point, everyone can help us out. I give him a slight nod. Our priority right now is to run. We run and run without stopping. After that, we're taking a rest while we hide in the shadows within the city. When Twilight had surrounded us, Victor acted quickly and used the smoke bomb. We were able to escape their clutches thanks to the explosion. But being an intelligence agency, Twilight is staffed with many capable agents. At this rate, it's surely only a matter of time before they catch up with us. As if he can tell what I'm thinking, Victor slowly stands up and declares, I'll be the decoy. I want you to take advantage of my distraction and join Lupin and the others. I'll find you later. I grab Victor's hand as he starts to turn away. Wait, Victor, I'm coming with you. Stop being stupid and trying to run away. What? Why? We don't have time. You need to get to the Zicterium as soon as possible. I gently place a finger over his lips to calm him down and shake my head. Yes, I know. I'm ready for it. But we can't find it. If we can't find it in time and I become awakened, I'll take my own life. What? I've made up my mind to do this, and I chose to stay by your side. Right now, being close to you is more important to me than anything, even my own life. Just as you did for me. I want to be with you. I'm not going to desert you. To me, that's the most important thing in the world. Guardia. My heart aches when I think about you. When you smile, it makes me smile. Guardia will soon know the entire world is a cruel dream. Oh no! Choco! Tell me, Victor, what is this feeling? I don't know emotions. Is it some kind of illness? Ruko's smiling. I think that emotion is what we refer to as love. Love. I must never know love. I must live in isolation. The more I learn of love, the more I will be made to suffer. Familiar words that I have heard before cross my mind, but this emotion surging inside me is pushing everything else aside. Z, Ruko, what is this I'm feeling? No! Don't come down! Why am I feeling this way at a time like this? Or is it because it's at a time like this? I want to embrace this emotion and tell him, Victor, I love you! Ruko just smiling with a heart. So very much. I don't know how to express it right, but I just love you. Victor looks surprised for a moment, then averts his eyes. I don't have the right to be loved. That doesn't matter. I just want to love you. Do you not want that? Victor seems about to say something, a bitter expression on his face when there's a sound of someone clapping slowly, echoing through the alley. We turn towards the source of the sound. Oh no, it's Alistair. He's already caught up. A number of Twilight soldiers are standing in one end of the alleyway, trapping us in. The artificial monster speaks of love. So absurd, yet so genuine. Cardia, I've developed something of an interest in— oh, we know how that goes when Van Helsing's route. That does not go well. Victor stands between Alistair and me, as if to shield me from him. What do you intend to do with us? What do I intend? That's a question for the Queen, not me. I hope you don't take offense. It's part of Twilight's job to do the dirty work. However, the Queen did say that she will give you a choice. She wants you to obtain the Zicterium. If you comply, she will free you both. What? Dr. Frankenstein, it seems your friends have come across a promising lead. There was someone who had been involved in the development of Zicterium. Twilight paid a visit to that man's home, but the information we were after already had been removed. The researcher's handwritten notes. We know the location of the Zicterium has been included in them. But with his notes gone, there is no way for us to learn where the Zicterium is. So, you want us to get you the Zicterium instead? Precisely. But you will be the only one taking action, Dr. Frankenstein. What? Cardia, you'll need to be under our surveillance in the meantime. What? Why her? Why? We can't have you running from us again. It only makes sense to take one of you hostage. If you're here under the Queen's orders, then you should know in only 6 more hours. I am very much aware. So then, we should set a time. Alistair takes out a pocket watch and stares intently at it. Let's see. I'll give you 4 hours. You have that long to locate the Zicterium. I heard what you said. As long as you have the Zicterium, you can save her, correct? Either way, you should still be looking. And if I can't obtain the Zicterium, if that becomes the case, we shall take measures to prevent her from becoming a monster. We may have to resort to violence. Are you going to kill her? I'll leave that to your imagination. Victor fixes Alistair with a long stare then smiles. You're bluffing, Alistair. You're lying to me. And why would you think that? Victoria doesn't want her dead. The Queen sees value in her as a weapon. Oh yeah. That's how I know that you'll never receive orders to kill Cardia, Alistair. I see. You do raise a good point. But unfortunately for you, I myself have absolutely no qualms about killing her. What? Do you intend to betray the queen? He probably would. Calling it betrayal is a bit harsh. Anyone is prone to say an accidental slip of the hand. Alistair chuckles as he says this. What do you intend to do with the Sectarium once you have it? It's none of your concern. But I suppose I can tell you it's for the creation of a more beautiful world. Right now, Dr. Frankenstein, the clock is ticking. Might I suggest that you get a move on? If I do as you ask, what guarantee do I have that she'll be safely released? You want a guarantee? I suppose you will just have to have faith in her value. Her value as a weapon. Oh! And that value really depends on you finding the Sectarium. A weapon that cannot be controlled has no worth. Do you understand? You have to find the Sectarium no matter what path you choose. Victor has no choice but to obey him. He grits his teeth, realizing the unspoken truth he's faced with. Rrrr. That's when a blade is suddenly pressed up against my throat. Alistair continues speaking matter-of-factly, looking at the unwavering blade. It's very simple. I've prepared a tracking device that I'd like you to keep with you. Alistair holds up a tiny device that fits into the palm of his hand. He tosses it to Victor, who attaches it to his clothing. You'll also be under surveillance, Dr. Frankenstein. If you pull anything on us, or if one of your unruly accomplices realizes what's happening, or if the men keeping track of you lose sight of you, remember that your precious doll can be broken ever so easily. Victor glares at Alistair, his face pale. I don't know what to do. Beg for help or reassure Victor. I'm pretty sure reassure Victor is the right answer to this. It's all good, Victor. Don't be sad. Don't worry about me. Just don't let Twilight get their hands on the Sectarium. What? Alistair probably intends to use the Sectarium as a weapon. Many more people will die, and you will suffer. Don't let yourself repeat the nightmare from 2 years ago. You can't let that happen. Sorry to interrupt, but what happens to you in that case? Without the Sectarium, when that time comes, I'll put an end to myself. Victor stares daggers at Alistair as he speaks in a low voice. I'll get my hands on the Sectarium no matter what. Don't! But if anything happens to her... You're going to give me chills with that kind of intensity? Fine. For now, we will wait patiently for you. Victor! Cardia, trust me, I will save you, believe me. Victor's face is grim. I'll be right back. Stay safe. His lips are trembling just a bit. He was trying to make up for his past. He was trying to destroy the Sectarium. I have no idea why Pepper is barking. Maybe the mailman came by. But now... Oh. Hold a second, quick break. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I had to leave the room for a second because my ghost trick shirt had actually just arrived in the mail. So I was putting it in the laundry room so I can wash it. He needs to turn the very thing he was trying to eradicate into a weapon with his own hands. Because of me. I might as well... Huzzah! I throw myself forward, trying to pierce my own throat with the knife. So the Twilight Soldier reacts quickly, and all I'm able to do slightly is melt the blade. My, you're a handful, aren't you, young lady? Alistair sighs, but Victor pays him no mind. Mine turns back to me with a serious look. Don't give up, Cardia. I haven't yet. I promise I will come back for you. With this, Victor runs off with so much as a look back. All I can do is simply watch him getting further away. Only 5 hours! Oh no! Five hours remaining. One hour's already passed. There's so little time. He has 3 hours to find and bring back the Zicterium. 3 hours. Not enough time to think of a strategy, but still too soon to give up. I need to hurry. He wipes the sweat off his forehead and continues to run. It all comes down to the fact that he needs the Zicterium to save Cardia. Victor doesn't think that getting a hold of that Zicterium will guarantee them any form of safety. But if he doesn't bring it back, Cardia will definitely be killed. Then, he'll focus on saving Cardia for now. He'll think about the rest later. That's the conclusion he arrives at. It's not much of a plan, but he can't think of anything better. Damn it, I'm so pathetic. As he runs, a conflict swirls in his mind like a storm. Just as she had said, there's only one reason Alistair would want the Zicterium for. To use it as a weapon. Whatever his plan for the Zicterium is, the results are clear. It's not gonna go well. The nightmare of 2 years ago is just going to be repeated. That's what needs to be avoided at all costs. Above all else, it needs to be stopped no matter what the sacrifice. There's only one effective means to go by about this. I just have to find the Zicterium and destroy it wherever it is. It should be easy. Many lives will be spared as a result. And only a short while ago, he would have been able to do this without hesitation. But Victor puts a hand on his chest as he runs. Cardia's smile, her angry and sad expressions. His head is overflowing with the memories of her. All he wants to do is save her. Save her no matter what. She didn't run away from him, even after hearing everything. When she said that she loved him, all he wanted to do was embrace her right then and there. I have to destroy the Zicterium and save her as well. The logical part in his mind is screaming that it's impossible, but all I can do now is push the voices aside and run. He finally arrives at the meeting spot. You made it. He looks up and finds that Van Helsing has appeared. Van Helsing, where's everyone else? Impy was concerned about the explosion and went to look for you two. Lupin and the Count have gone ahead to where the Zicterium is being stored. There's not much time left, so we're all acting separately. You located it? Yes, we went to the place we discussed before. The researcher himself was dead, but we found a note. He had written down all the whereabouts about the Zicterium. It was all a little too easy, but all we can do now is thank our luck. I see. He breathes a sigh of relief. There's no telling what could have happened to Cardia if they hadn't found the location of the Zicterium. Van Helsing narrows his eyes. And where is she? Wasn't it your job to look into ways to treat her? Why are you alone? Van Helsing doesn't mince words. Victor hesitates. If he isn't careful and says something to cause Van Helsing to catch on, Cardia's life will be in danger. The best thing to do is to tell him everything, including what happened to Cardia. In that case, we actually figured out how to treat her. What? That's good news. The poison in Zicterium has the effect to stop the Horologium's transformation. As Victor speaks, he quietly taps the back of his hand with his finger. He's using Morse code. But it's transforming faster than we thought. She needs to be treated within 3 hours. As he says this, he quietly spells out the situation. His greatest concern is that the men watching him will catch on. But fortunately, they haven't noticed yet. Cardia taken hostage, being watched now. They hear everything. Van Helsing narrows his eyes slightly. He's probably realized what's going on. Victor hoped that Van Helsing, being a former member of Twilight, would recognize Morse code and be able to understand him. It seems he was right. I see. So we can save her if we get the Zicterium. Need to give them Zicterium in 3 hours or she dies. Exactly, where is it? Van Helsing, please tell me, it's very important. Being threatened to tell location. It's underground, near Buckingham Palace. Hurry, we don't have much time. You're right. Victor starts to run, following Van Helsing. He hasn't come to a conclusion about what needs to be done, but for right now he focuses on running as fast as he can to get to where the Zicterium was being hidden. Look, 2 good boys working together! 4 hours! I can see stars shining through the window. I've been restrained by thick rope tying me to the wooden chair and I'm unable to move. They've tied me up, gloves and all, so I'm not even able to use my poison or melt the ways out like I did at the palace. Victor and Van Helsing can be best bros. Yep, 2 good boys. Oh, I forgot to mention, when I was doing Impy's route to get the trophies, I forgot that there's a scene in it when Cardia tells the group that she loves Impy and they all immediately go, okay, Impy, why did you blackmail her? And Van Helsing is like, okay, I'm getting my gun, just a minute, I can put a stop to this right now. No one believes him. No one believes that Impy gets Cardia. It feels like it's been a long time since I was brought here. That's a scene in it, and Impy's route immediately everyone goes, no, she's being blackmailed, obviously. Van, you're amazing. I love Van Helsing, he's my favorite boy in this. I don't know what the exact time is. I wonder how Victor's doing. I hear a knock at the door. Excuse me, may I come in?
Hi.
Don't bother acting politely when you have me tied up like this. I'll take that as a yes. How are you feeling? Feel free to call on me at any time if you start feeling unwell. And quite passionately too, from what I remember. I like him, he's a good boy. If your condition changes, life will be no longer able to exist within London. Ah yes, would you care for some music? Gee, do you know what a phonograph is? It's something of a hobby of mine. I have the latest phonograph in this room. Personally, I think the phonograph was Isaac's greatest invention. It's like a portable orchestra. It really made the beauty of music all the more accessible. I like everything from nursery rhymes to classical music. Yeah, it's just Alistair just playing the wheels on the bus as he's making Van kill people. I do enjoy flashy things from time to time. There are a few intense songs that I enjoy as well. What did you come here for? Ah, that's right. I tend to go off on my own tangents when discussing my interests. It would appear that Dr. Frankenstein has figured out where the Zicterium is. So they found it. Aren't you happy? This means you're saved. Well, let's talk about something else then. I've sent over some Twilight agents to the Zicterium's location. Line the bridge is falling down to the Zicterium. No! I look up in surprise. The moonlight shines upon Alistair's elegant features. Why? Weren't you going to have Victor bring it to you? Even if Dr. Frankenstein does comply with our commands, it doesn't mean his friends will. What are you saying? Exactly kind of what it means. I throw myself at him without thinking, forgetting that I've been tied up and my chair falls over. Did that hurt? I'm just saying that one can never be too careful. Alistair carefully rights the chair along with me. I won't let you kill everyone. Ah, how very interesting. You're supposed to be a soulless doll, yet your eyes are full of anger. My bro, for some reason, obsessed with that nursery rhyme. Maybe because he found a very good cover. I mean, that could do it. I mean, there's some nursery rhymes that can be actually pretty cool if you have people doing the right kind of cover or music for it. And I mean, London Bridge is already kind of a messed up song on its own. So... Is the anger within you right now real? Or are you just pretending to be angry? Rude? I suppose it really doesn't matter to me. Alistair glances at his pocket watch and checks the time. There isn't much time left, but shall we have some tea and snacks? If you don't mind, I could join you in your last supper. How is she going to eat with her hands tied up? With this, Alistair leaves the room. I'm alone again. The room is quiet and I can't hear anything from the outside. Is Twilight... Are they still guarding this room? My condition is gradually worsening. At this rate, I may not be able to move around for long. I will. I think if you wait, you die. Because then it's like, ah, shoot, we waited too long. I don't know though, this could go the same way as the Jack the Ripper one, where it's like, if you move, he's gonna kill you. Gonna find a way out of here. As long as I'm held captive, Victor and the others will be forced to tread cautiously. Even if Twilight attacks them, they may not risk putting up any resistance. I have to get out of here somehow and let everyone know that I'm alright. My gloves have been tightly secured to my arms, and it doesn't seem like I can get them off either. Still, that doesn't rule out any of my chances I have of escaping. There's something Alistair doesn't know. I've been trained by the others, each of them master their own particular crafts. I've been continuing to train to maintain these skills. If Victor isn't giving up, I can't give up either. At times like these, I really have to calmly observe the situation. First, there's no signs of people nearby. Is there anything I can use in this room? Honestly, I wish I still had the skills I knew in school. I used to know how to unlock a door with a hair clip, but I don't know how to do that anymore. My teacher once locked herself out of a room and I broke the lock open for her. And then she told me to never do that again. There. There's a gear meant to use some kind of steam engine up against the wall. It looks very sharp. I can use that. I struggled to drag the chair close to it, still tied into it, and managed to raise my body enough to press my wrist to the gear. Wow. I was very bored as a child and would learn weird things like how to unlock locks. Your school No, the school didn't teach me that. I got bored. And it actually happened with one of my toys as it had a lock on it. And I lost the key to it, and it's like, but I need to get the thing I lost in there. So I took one of my mom's bobby pins and broke it and got it unlocked. And it's like, wait, can I do that again? So I took the thing out of the box, closed the box again, and kept trying to break into it. I don't expect you to cut the rope with this. I intend to scratch my wrist with it and hope to melt the rope using the poison in my blood. I endure the slight pain and feel some blood trickling down my skin. Now all I do is wait for the poison to melt through the rope. But... Huh? It's strange, the rope isn't melting. Usually my poison would melt something like this rope without any issues. Is the poison weakening? It might be the precursor to the Horologium's transformation. With this option for escape taken away from me, I panic for a moment. If I can't use the poison, I'll escape from this rope using the techniques Lupin taught me. I wish school taught me how to unlock locks. That would be a heck of a curriculum I would have taken. I've moved my hand and start shifting the rope, little by little. Taking my time slowly. I focus on getting free, but in the back of my mind I can't stop thinking about Victor. Oh no, only 3 hours. I continue to work diligently on the rope. Man, Alistair is taking a while. My condition starts worsening and I feel the dizziness and a headache from the heat of the horologium intensifying in my chest. I might not make it, just as my determination starts to waver. My right hand is freed. I did it! With one hand free, the rest is easy. I quickly untie the rope and stand up. I hurriedly check in time and see that there's little under 3 hours left. In 3 hours I check the watch again to make sure. I need to take action right away to get myself out of here. I look out the window. It looks as if I'm on the 2nd floor. Judging from the skyline, it must be somewhere in Midtown. After trying several times to open the window to no avail, I push heavy furniture to the front of the door to block it. Time to throw a chair at the window. This should buy me some time. I lift up a nearby candlestick and... I mean, a candlestick works. I would have taken the chair. The window shatters noisily. I hear footsteps approaching from the other side of the door, but... I ignore it. I use my unsteady body to move forward and jump out the window. The moment I hit the ground, I brace myself to soften the impact. It worked! Now I just need to run. Then, when I raise my head, I see a lone Twilight soldier standing there. It looks like he didn't expect someone to come flying down out of the sky. I sense him drawing a sharp breath in astonishment, even through his eerie mask. He rushes to strike me with his sword, which I dodge. I don't miss the opportunity to... throw myself at him with all my might. Once he's off balance, I grab a hold of his neck and slam him against the wall with all the strength I can muster. His breath is heavy and uneven as I look. My breath is heavy and uneven as I look down at the fallen soldier. I got lucky catching him off guard. I'm so glad my body was able to react so quickly. Before I start running again, I have an idea. I take the dagger that the soldier has on him and hurry away. If the time limit passes before I can get help, I'll use this to... I run as fast as I can. I can already feel the presence of several men behind me. St. Germain taught me the ins and outs of London's geography. I'll get away from them somehow. Right as I'm about to pick up speed, Twilight soldiers appear from the alleyway. There are 2 of them. At this time, they both look completely alert. I don't stand a chance against them. They draw their swords without word, and in a panic I turn around to go back the way I came. That's when I realize that path is already blocked as well. I grip the dagger I had stolen just in case I might need to use it. Out of the way! Mr. Impy coming through! I hear Impy shouting. Then behind the Twilight soldiers blocking my way, he's coming from the Anthropoder. The Anthropoder charges in, forcing its way through the narrow alley, breaking off portions of the surrounding buildings. Impy! The Twilight soldiers are surprised. They jump aside the Anthropoder charges straight towards them. Impy, go away! Cardia should hold lessons for female protags to be as active as she is. She should. Cardia just teaches them all the self-defense methods. A thing comes straight at me as I stand there dumbfounded. As the Anthropoder flies low, almost touching my head, Impy pops out and extends his arm to me. Grab my hand! I immediately grab him and he pulls me into the aircraft, and the next moment the Anthropoder begins ascending rapidly. Alright, I had to pull some aerial acrobatics there, but it was a success! Impy, thank you! I couldn't have gotten past them on my own. Oh, don't worry about it. It's the prince's job to come to the princess's rescue on a white horse, right? Well, in this case, I'm a genius engineer riding in a steel bird. I'm glad you're alright. It's a good thing I happened to find you, but where's Victor? He went to find the Zecterium and save me. I quickly give Impy the rundown of everything that has happened. I see. Seems like Victor is a pretty heroic role in all this. We know where the Zecterium is. If the others are meeting there, he's probably headed that way too. Impy, can we still head there too? Victor thinks that I'm still being held hostage. Okie dokie, leave it to Mr. Impy. Let's embark on a nighttime flight, shall we? This is gonna be a rough trip. Hold on tight. With these words, the Anthropoder picks up speed. Well, at least he's not flirting with me on this route. We got that much going with us. Hold on, Victor. I'll be there soon. Victor can't help but draw in a breath of surprise when he first arrives. Immensely high ceilings are supported by countless numbers of thick pillars that stretch towards the roof. This huge space has no decorations at all and has almost a mystical feel about it. So, this is the place, the facility where supposedly created to store Victorium. Who would have thought that there would be a space like this directly beneath London? We don't have time to stand around admiring the view. Let's find Lupin and the others. Yeah, you're right. As he walks along with Van Helsing, Victor checks his pocket watch. He has his own watch to match the time on Cardia's. It's true, there isn't much time left. 3 hours remain until the Horologium transforms. And only 1 hour remains until the time Alistair said that he would kill her. We need to hurry. As he whispered this, 2 familiar faces appear before him. Hey, good to see you. Did you find the Zicterium? No, not yet. We've looked everywhere, but we can't figure out how to get past those huge doors, so we can't move forward. Lupin points to a ridiculously large set of doors in the center of the rear wall. If the Zicterium isn't here in this large space, then could it be behind those doors? There has to be some way to get them open. We've tried everything, but they won't so much as budge. Oh, Victor, isn't Our Lady with you? About that. Victor glances over at Van Helsing. While Victor gives a fake explanation, Van Helsing uses Morse code to communicate the truth to the others. I see. So that's the key to treating her poison. All the more reason why we need to get a hold of it. Suddenly, Lupin raises an arm, signaling to everyone. In response, Van Helsing and Saint Germain begin looking around them. Guys, what is it? It looks like Twilight has decided that our job is done here. They either followed us or came in ahead. Either way, it's not just a couple of them we're dealing with here. What? How could that be? Victor, behind you! Before a soldier's sword can pierce Victor, Saint Germain grabs him and leaps backward. Even while the Count is saving him, Victor takes the test tube from his coat and immediately lobs it at the enemy soldiers. You! A flash of light floods the space around them and smoke fills the area in a matter of seconds. Whoa, nice one, Victor! I like what you got there! Taking care not to inhale the smoke, they take cover behind some pillars. Van Helsing stands beside Victor ready to fight. Victor, it looks like they don't intend on keeping their end of the bargain. What do you want to do? Van Helsing is right. If Twilight is going to attack them directly, there's no need for Victor to hold to his promise or hold back on them. But still, we need to avoid antagonizing them if we can help it. They've still got her. Whoa, 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 whoa! We've got a party approaching. We don't stand a chance if we don't fight back. Lupin shouts over to them where he hides behind an adjacent pillar. I know, but... Alistair, what is he thinking doing something like this? Buddy, we did your out. We know what he's thinking. They put up a minimum of resistance to hold the soldiers back while Victor tries desperately to think. How can they get the upper hand here? Victor looks at the transmitter he had clipped to his clothing. It looks like they've turned off the transmission, judging that he is no longer of any use to them. Alistair was using this device to keep tabs on him and where he was. That's when he has an idea. Van Helsing, I'd like to ask you something about the Twilight's chain of command. The chain of command? What about it? What happens if something unexpected occurs without a commanding officer present? Are soldiers in the field allowed to act as they see fit? Is that really relevant right now? Van Helsing doesn't look as Victor as he responds, instead squinting at the half-darkness as he fires at the Twilight soldiers. But, yes, this is very important! Twilight isn't monolithic, but at least if this is some unit under Alistair's command, they wouldn't act on their own. Even if he's not there in person, he's probably able to show some flexibility as the soldiers relay information to him. I see. In that case, he has all the information he needs. Van Helsing, cover me for a minute. With just this, he jumps out from behind the pillar without even waiting for a response. Alistair, I want to negotiate! The soldiers all charge at him at once, but Van Helsing is able to shoot them down as they come. Taking advantage of this, Victor continues speaking in a voice that rings clear in the dark, empty hall. We hold the trump card. You can't get your hands in the Zicterium without it. The moment Victor shouts this, the Twilight soldiers stop approaching. They're most likely received orders to cease their attacks from their own communication devices. So far, so good. You may have thought us useless, but that's a big mistake. The Zicterium at the end of the hall. Lupin was able to find the hidden passage leading to the back. That's because this place has a trick to it that only those involved with the research would know about it. By now, everyone in the room is paying full attention to Victor. In a dead silence, with many eyes on him, Victor continues. A little over 2 hours remain until the Horologium's transformation is complete. Once that time runs out, London will turn into a city of death. Even if you kill all of us here, you won't be able to decipher the trick to this room, and you'll never get to the Zicterium. Cardia. She would probably rather sacrifice herself than let one of her friends die because of her. I feel the same way. If the life of one of my friends is endangered, I am prepared to die here and now. If that happens, Alistair, then neither she nor the Zicterium will be yours. I don't think you understand, Dr. Frankenstein. Alistair's voice echoes in the halls. The volume on the soldiers' communicators have likely been turned up. Your doll is in my hands. I'm the one in control here. Even if that is the case, it's impossible to open the path without my cooperation. And if even one of my friends dies, I won't cooperate with you. I'll fight back with everything I have. I'll never talk, even if you capture me. So what are you gonna do? You don't have time for a leisurely torture session. Or shall we all die here together, here in London? Of course, Victor has absolutely no intention of abandoning her. However, if he allows Alistair to have his way here, his friends will die and he won't be able to save Cardia. That's why Victor decided to take this risk. Of course, he doesn't know how to open the door, even if there was a trick to it. He's merely using the fact of mind of Lupin's caliber that has yet to find a way to break in as a way of threatening Alistair. If Alistair doesn't comply with Victor's threat now, the fighting will likely resume. They won't be able to stop the Horologium's transformation, and they, along with the entirety of London, will be destroyed. Alistair, answer me now. Fine, let's see what you have to say. Victor tries to hide his delight and then exhales slowly to even his breathing. You need to accept my conditions if you want that path at the end of the hall to open. Alistair, bring her here. Once we've seen that she's safe, we'll open the doors. That's not possible. You'll have to open the doors first. No, you bring her here. We won't have the time to save her any other way. We don't have time. What's your answer? I have no choice. Let's do this then. She's no longer of any use to us. We'll dispose of her on our end. What? Dr. Frankenstein, once we've killed all of you, I will head there on my, at my own leisure. You've given up on the Horologium? I am a very cautious man. I have a policy against taking risky bets. Although it seems to me that you enjoy gambling, unlike me. The Twilight Soldiers begin to close in once again. So much for taking our way out. I guess we only have one option. Hurry up and beat those guys so we can get a hold of the Zicterium. We'll have to negotiate with them after that. With Lupin shout, it looks like the battle is about to reignite when... Victor! A voice cuts through the space. A voice he feels like he hasn't heard in a long time. Everyone turns around. They see her up ahead, so close to where they stand, walking with Impy's aid. Cardia? He shouts in surprise and runs to her side. How did you get here? Did you escape? Yes, I was cutting it pretty close. Well, well, that's where the little rabbit ran off to. This was certainly unexpected. Alistair, I won't let you get away with this. If you're no longer a hostage, that makes things simple. There's no need to hold back anymore. Alistair, I don't know what you're thinking, but if you plan to get in our way, I won't show your men any mercy. It's been a while since we've all been together like this, huh? Can't really enjoy the moment with all these enemies around. Everyone, it's fine to be in high spirits, but just make sure not to get hurt, do you understand? With the rest of the group gathered behind him, Victor speaks with confidence. You've lost, Alistair. I've lost. I see, we still hold an overwhelming advantage in numbers. You never cease to entertain me. Fine, go ahead. The Twilight Soldiers and Victor's group square off against each other. Victor holds Cardia in a tight embrace and he puts his feelings into words. Now that you're by my side, I'm not afraid of anything. You give me and all of us strength. I'm so glad you're safe. Aw, she's happy! He smiles broadly and Cardia's cheeks redden slightly. Just then, as it seems the intense fighting is about to resume, Alistair steps away from his communication device, listening intently for the sound coming from the speaker of his phonograph. I lost. Well, how interesting. He smiles to himself. There's a loud knock at the door. We have a situation, Mr. Alistair. It's open. The toilet soldier begins to speak hurriedly the moment he enters. The mansion's been surrounded. We appear to be facing forces from the military. Alistair furrows his brow. Oh, they've already tracked me down. The Queen is smarter than I give her credit for. But, this is a very interesting turn of events on its own right. I suppose it's time I took some exercise anyway. Mr. Alistair? The sound of fighting can be heard from downstairs. Alistair smiles, stands, drawing his sword. What can I do? I suppose today marks the end of twilight. What are you? Alistair's sword runs the man through before he can finish his question. What, Miss Alice? I seem to be a bit rusty, but I suppose I can still put up a fight. With the soldier's blood splattered on his clothing, Alistair smiles, satisfied. It might be best for him to retreat from the front of the stage for the time being. Now, I wonder how much damage I can do against the Queen's veteran troops. He leaves the room, still covered in blood, but in good spirits, even humming a song to himself. In mere moments, he kills a number of soldiers and breaks through the blockade, and vanishes from the center stage of history. Oh, only 1 hour. One hour remaining. A series of shots can be heard. Twilight soldiers fall one after another against the sudden violent attacks of the massive government forces. Twilight is a rebel army, and an army of our nation do not hesitate to destroy them. With Leonhardt's command, there's a hailstorm of gunshots. Within a matter of minutes, all the Twilight soldiers have fallen. Whoa! Unbelievable! Aren't these guys in Twilight supposed to be the elitist of the elite? Royal Guards are as well. It's simply a matter of whether their duties are public or not. Besides, Twilight soldiers are adept in combat, but their main tasks involve undercover missions. It's only natural that the Royal Guard would have an advantage in a head-to-head clash. And it would seem that the Guardsmen have come quite prepared in terms of numbers. Right. Lucky for us, they've done away with the Twilight soldiers. But doesn't look like they're here solely to come to our aid. Van Helsing narrows his eyes. He looks around cautiously as Lupin shakes his head frustrated. Out of the frying pan and into the fryer. We don't have time for this. My breathing is uneven as I check the pocket watch. There isn't even an hour left before the horologium transforms. Are you alright, Cardia? I'm fine, but this is bad. Without the slightest consideration for the dead Twilight soldiers, the Royal Guards head straight for us. They spread out to surround us, all aiming their guns in our direction. Dr. Frankenstein and accomplices, I order you not to move. We will shoot you at the first sign of resistance. There is no guarantee that you will walk away alive. Like I'd try anything with this many guns pointed my way. Leonhardt ignores Lupin's sarcasm and fixes his eyes on us. There's no trace of the gentleness he had displayed when speaking with his respect for Victoria before. Everyone stayed vigilant. He has his moments of foolishness. But there's no question that this man Leonhardt is a skilled swordsman. He's not the leader of the Royal Guard for nothing. Van Helsing is visibly nervous. Leonhardt must be very strong if Van Helsing of all people is warning us about him. But I wonder, what are the Royal Guards doing here? That is none of your concern. It's fine. You may tell them, Leonhardt. I hear a sultry voice from behind the guards. This is quite relevant to that little doll over there as well. The guards at the center stand aside and kneel all at once. Here's the Queen Bee herself. She walks through the path created by the guards with an air of composure. Oh shoot, I accidentally hit it twice! We meet again, Dr. Frankenstein and his little doll, Victoria. There's much I would like to say, but why don't I begin by thanking you? Thanks to your keeping the forces of Twilight distracted, none of my soldiers were harmed. That was very helpful. You have my thanks. So, you're saying you used us as bait to stir up trouble with Twilight. That's simply how it turned out. Victoria shrugs and takes a good look at us. Queen Bee stands for Queen. Please don't be sorry, Choco, that was really good. No, don't leave! Choco, no! I love you, you're like a little sister to me, don't leave! I was originally monitoring Alistair and I had noticed he has a rebellious streak. What would happen if a girl with the potential to become a deadly monster fell into the hands of such a dangerous man? The result, as you have seen, Alistair really showed his true colors. You can't be saying that Alistair capturing you was all according to her calculations. Victoria narrows her eyes and smiles, catching my questioning glance. Exactly. The reason you were able to escape from Buckingham House was because I wanted you to roam free. And because of that, you were able to find this place. Thank you. You're all the heroes who have saved this nation. Victoria tosses a sarcastic glance at us as she signals the men around her. I refuse to back down and glare at her. Tell me again, Victoria. Do you intend to proceed with your plan involving terrorism, even after seeing the horrible state of the city? Would you stir up other nations of the world just to start a war? Nothing has changed since what I told you back at the palace. In order for Britain to survive, I need the war to break out right now. And for that, a little bit of pain is necessary. A little bit? If you use Zicterium, it will lead to the deaths of so many people. You call that a little bit? Yes, I do. Victoria says this calmly. Her cold, dry eyes observe us all as mere pieces on a board game. Right now, Britain still retains the technological advantage Isaac left us. But if a war were to break out in 10 or 20 years, when that technological gap has been closed, with so many of our neighbors bearing us hatred, Britain will surely be trampled upon. The damage we would suffer can be expected to be far worse. That's not... As I try to protest, a hand reaches out from the side to stop me. With a smile, Saint Germain walks out in front of me. I see. Sacrificing a few to save the majority. How very like a politician to take that position. I can understand why you would choose to do that. Saint Germain? Oh, it seems there would be someone on your side with a decent grasp on the world. Count Saint Germain, are you saying that you agree with me? I half agree. Saint Germain turns back to us and smiles as we stand there in surprise. Then turns to Victoria once more and speaks to her coldly. However, you're only really seeing just one nation of Britain. From an international perspective, your reasoning seems very one-sided. Say whatever you want. I am the Queen of Britain. What good am I if I don't consider everything from Britain's standpoint? Victoria furrows her brow at Saint Germain's argument as she continues. I will tell you one thing. This underground space is not merely for storing Zicterium. The facility itself is one immense weapon. A weapon? What do you mean? After Zicterium's discovery, Isaac created a large-scale mechanism that involves the whole of London. The city of Steel London is comprised of many technologies that must not be allowed to fall into the hands of enemy nations. Alchemy, engineering, life sciences, aerodynamics, physics, marine engineering, and and even a new form of energy. This city has accumulated knowledge and technology far beyond the reaches of any other nation in a number of fields. So, the city is designed to prevent it from being taken by enemy nations, no matter what price may be paid. Victor grows pale as he suddenly comes to a realization. His next words are uttered in a trembling voice filled with shock and fear. This is a device to spread Zicterium across the entire country? Yes, a Zicterium self-destruct device, of all sorts. That's what I've been searching for all along. London and its residents will need to be sacrificed as a prelude to a world war. You're going to destroy all of London to pull the trigger on a worldwide war! Are you serious? Why would I jest about this? That's abhorrent! History will never forgive you for this! I have no intention of being forgiven. I'll most likely be tortured for eternity in the flames of hell. Victoria smiles beautifully. Her smile is so calm and collected that it gives me chills. Many in London will die because of this. But the Zicterium poison will dissipate within a few days, and those who remain will seek the path of revenge and harbor hatred against the other terrorist nations. And that hatred will lead to war. Is that how you see it? It is an absolutely evil plan. To think that she'd be willing to destroy her own capital to start a war. If the war begins now, even if the damage to London is severe, the overpowering weaponry left behind by Isaac's legacy will lead Britain to victory. Wouldn't you say that temporary losing London is a fair price to pay for that purpose? No. I am so lost on this lady's point. Basically, she's like, okay, let's just get rid of London. We'll claim it as, like, everyone else did it. And they're gonna hate everyone else so much they're gonna go and attack them. She's supposed to destroy Britain in the pretense of peace for her nation, that's it. I want to protect it and make my nation strong, but I'm also gonna destroy it. There you go, Choco, you got it. And myself, Victor, and everyone else are at a loss for the words of hearing this horrifying plan. She speaks so matter-of-factly about this sacrifice I can't understand her logic at all. That is also Choco. But there's something else even more terrifying, is that Victoria seems to have no doubts whatsoever that her plan will be effective. Don't you understand, if you activate something like that, the people of London won't be the only ones affected, you will die too. Yes, you're right, but what does that matter? She tilts her head mockingly as she asks this, but Victor has no response. The plan will be more effective if I, the nation's leader, am a victim. It will serve to stir up more hatred. I've made arrangements to see it that the plan proceeds smoothly even after my death. Once it begins, it cannot be stopped, no matter who takes the lead. So you don't even care if you lose your own life? That's right. I'm Queen Victoria, ruler of Great Britain. There's not a single reason for me to mourn the fact that I will be sacrificed for my country. That will finally bring an end to my duties. She's smiling sweetly. She gazes over at our faces as we stand in silence. You've gone nuts, lady! However, Victor breaks the silence. Who do you think you are? His face scrunches up with anger as he spits these words at Victoria. No matter what great justice it serves, killing innocent people going about their lives should never be considered. The anger in Victor's eyes is unmistakable as he glares at her. Victoria simply serves him with a quiet glance. Dr. Frankenstein, I envy you. Envy me. Indeed, you proclaim only what is just, and keep your distance from what you know to be wrong. You brandish your righteousness as a weapon, unaware of the great sacrifices that come with justice. Had I the choice, I would have stayed in your position. I didn't want to have to take such responsibility. Victoria. For a fleeting moment, unless I imagined it, Victoria looks sad, but her expression changes in an instant. She slowly begins to walk with Leonard at her side. By the way, Dr. Frankenstein, the bluff you pulled with Alistair earlier was quite interesting. You did make most of it up, but like all the great lies, there is a kernel of truth. She takes out a faintly glowing pendant. This hall has been sealed, quite like a Pandora's box, which contained all the evils of the world. And Finnis was our one and only Pandora who was capable of opening it. Now that he's dead, the pendant he left behind is the only remaining key. She raises the pendant into the air and it begins to shine brightly. A ray of light pierces through the darkness and shines upon a pattern on the wall. One seemingly ordinary wall splits into two, revealing the path leading deeper inside. Is this even real? What kind of amazing technology is this made this even possible? Say, Mimpy. Was all this really created by a single scientist? Isaac Beckford was a man who single-handedly changed history of the world. It probably wasn't any trouble for him. A new and eerie path lies before us, looking for all the world like it could lead us into the depths of hell. Victoria turns to me as she steps onto the path. Now, Dr. Frankenstein, gather your little doll and come this way. You want us to go with you? What are you doing? I know that the little doll there is in need of some Zicterium, and that Zicterium has no effect on her, and her alone. Meaning that even if the Zicterium is activated, you will survive it. I can't have you becoming a creature of mass destruction after that happens. Because if I spread the poison everywhere, it would be impossible to restore London. Yes, exactly. So I will cooperate with you to prevent you from turning into a monster. Victoria smiles kindly and takes a persuasive tone of voice. Once everything is over, you must come under the government's protection. And please, lend me your strength as Britain prepares to face these difficult times. You want me to help you? You want me to help you as a weapon? Alistair had told me that if I went along with Victoria, I will most likely be dissected by researchers. I don't know if that's true, but if it's not too difficult to imagine her taking advantage of my destructive ability to use me as a weapon. And if I refuse, in that case, London will be destroyed by your poison, your friends and all of us included. It will be a bit of a detour, but either way my plan will end in success. There's nothing that can be done. What can I say or do when she's so close to total victory over us? You are completely aggressive and ruthless. A wonderful leader, by some standards. I'll take that as a compliment. Victoria smiles as Lupin and Van Helsing trade a confused glance, and bitter expressions on their faces. I see. I understand what you intend to do with these two. So, what do you have in mind for us? You want us to stay here and deal with your subordinates? Let's see. Why don't you stay behind and have fun while you wait for me to activate the weapon? Although, even if you don't do anything in about 40 minutes, your precious little doll is going to destroy London in any case. Victoria checks her watch and then looks over at all of us. What will it be? Make your choice. Allow her to survive out of all of you, or you can all die together. My mind was made up from the start. I opened my mouth to speak before anyone else gets the chance. In my mind, it's completely clear what I should do. I'm not going to obey you. There's no point in me surviving this alone. That's why I'm going to stay with everyone until the end. Cardia. So you've chosen death for you all. The soldiers all raise their guns at once. Every one of their guns is pointed at us. Do not forget that this matter is not open for debate. Once you've awakened as a monster, someone will have to deal with it. It would be ideal if you could help us, but we always have the option of terminating you. Ugh. That's all Victoria says before turning her back on us. We'll be off now. If you have any doubts on disobeying, it's not too late to follow me. I only wish for you to make a decision that you won't regret. Victoria leaves, taking only Leonhardt with her as she goes on ahead. We're left behind along with the royal guards aiming their guns at us. Nobody says anything. We all desperately glare at the guards with their guns pointed towards us. I don't know what to say, but it seems Victor is the only one among us who does. Let's go, Cardia. We have to treat your poison. He says this with determination as he takes my hand. Victor! Do you intend on letting only me survive out of all of you, like Victoria said? I glare at him in protest, but he simply stares directly at me. You see, Cardia, I've been thinking all this time. I thought that maybe I was only doing this just to run away from my past. It's not... No. It's a fact of how I felt. It's a fact that this is how I felt. I wanted to destroy the Zicterium so I wouldn't have to face my crimes. Victor looks up at the ceiling. When I found out that the Zicterium could be used to save your life. When I found out the one thing I need to have a future with you is the same thing I was trying to destroy to escape my past. That's when I finally realized that there was no point in running from what I've done. It's almost as if he's looking through the ceiling at his own life's history. It's probably how Victoria feels. There's no way she can change Britain's history by invading other countries. That's why she's not even acknowledging the past, instead relying solely on power to plow ahead and give Britain a future. But doing that won't give this nation a better tomorrow. Even if she succeeds, it will only lead to more anger and hatred. That's why the world has to continue repeating the same mistakes over and over. Victor. That's why I'm going to stop Victoria. Victor looks back at all of us. I notice that even the royal guards are listening intently to him. Cardia. I want to atone for what I've done. I want to save you. I'm not going to give up anything. And I will stop Victoria no matter what. And I will save you as well. Victor smiles and holds out his hand to me. So, come with me, Cardia. I gently take his hand and respond with a bright smile. I would go anywhere with you. Really, you guys, this is a great time to be declaring your love for one another. Go right ahead. Lupin's teasing brings us back to our senses. Go on, I'll take care of the rest. Yeah, go for it. We'll catch right up. Say hi to the queen for me, will you? In a way, the queen may have a point. I still like how Victor thinks better. Don't worry about us. We'll get this under control and follow to back you up. The rail guards snap back to reality and raise their guns once again. Whee! Four men dash forward at the same time. Go, you two! Thanks, guys. Let's go, Cardia. Right. He smiles softly at me as he starts running, my hand still in his. Those who don't know him well may see him as a timid man, but to me, his smile is purely reassuring. Aww. LOL, even the guards aren't convinced by Queen Bee's plan. The princess's knight. Yeah, they're all kind of like, oh shoot. Maybe this isn't the best plan. Maybe we shouldn't. I'll die. 30 minutes! Britain's Queen Victoria's plan to use Zicterium as a weapon to change London into a city of death. Victor and I are running down a passage chasing after her. I'm short of breath, my body's hot, my head feels heavy and my vision is wavering. Is my body being affected by the transformation of the Horologium? My condition is worsening by the minute. I can barely keep running. Sorry, I had a hiccup. I need to hurry and reach what's up ahead as fast as I can. Telling myself this, I try and keep pace with Victor, but my legs are sluggish and I come to a stop. Victor stands next to me, holding me up by leaning me up against him. Thank you, Victor. It's the least I could do for you. I wish I could change places with you so you don't have to suffer anymore. He looks frustrated, grimacing and gritting his teeth. There's just too little time left for me. Will I become death incarnate, or will they use Zicterium? Either way, at this rate, London will be destroyed according to Victoria's plan. Oh, how cute. There's probably only one way to protect Victor and everyone else. That's right. After we stop Victoria, before I become a monster, I'll have to... I slowly touch the dagger that I took from the Twilight Soldier before I arrive here. Then... Don't get any ideas. He noticed me. Victor, I won't let you resort to that. We don't even know if it'll work. But there's no way to protect you and everyone else. I speak softly, looking into Victor's eyes. His gentle eyes shine with strong determination. That's amazing because his eyes are closed in this picture. You're kind. Too kind. Maybe that hinders you from understanding how others feel. I won't be happy if you die and I survive. How painful do you think it will be for me to live in a world without you? Victor's voice assures me that he's not angry at all. His voice is overflowing with sadness and kindness. This makes the pain in my chest tighten even more than I thought it could. I want to believe in Victor. If there's any gleam of hope that we can both survive together, I want to take a chance to capture a bright future, but every time I think about this, heavy memories of my past sneak up on me. The memory of the day when I committed a crime that can never be undone. Listen, Victor, someone died in my place because I tried to live. Before I knew it, the words spilled out of my mouth. Here's my tragic backstory. She was a kind-hearted woman. She accepted me, even after finding out about the poison inside me. But she ended up dying because of it. Eddie and Elaine's faces swim into my mind's eye. I couldn't do anything for her. She was suffering, dying from my poison right in front of my eyes. I didn't even have the chance to hold her hand and comfort her. That's why I look down at my poison-tainted hands and speak in a trembling voice. I don't want to go through all that again. I really don't. If you died like that because of my poison, if that happens, a future crosses my mind I don't even want to imagine crosses my mind. That day I tried to leave in the mansion because I didn't think I should stay with everyone anymore. The day Victor, who stopped me from leaving, disappeared instead. Even then, the heartache was too much to bear. This time it would be far worse. If Victor dies, I'll never be able to see him again. When I think this, I'm not going to die. He touches my shoulder with his hand. Victor stops running and is looking straight at me in the eyes. Cardia, you and I are the same. The same? If you say your poison killed people, then the same can be said of me, the one who actually created it. If you say you had to watch people die right in front of you because of that poison, I had to see that too. I saw people die right in front of me because of what I created. Oh, just say it. Sorry, Dad was calling for me for a second. I had to see that too. I saw people die right in front of me because of what I created. Victor! I'm no different from you. My offense is greater. Victor's grip on my shoulder is tightened to the point of pain. Please don't hurt her. Victor looks up at the ceiling and speaks quietly. That's why I couldn't leave you alone. I'm not looking for redemption. I'm not seeking forgiveness either. But still, seeing you under the weight of the same pain, I want to save you more than ever. Victor looks into my face and smiles gently. I'll drive away all your doubts and fears. But I need you to promise me one thing in order for me to do that. The clock is ticking! These moments give me anxiety. Okay, here's the thing. When we get to the point where we hit where the Zicterium is, there actually is a choice system where you can choose if Cardia dies or not. We can do either one because I can make a save at that, but just letting you know that is a thing that can happen. Don't give up, no matter what. Trust me until the very last moment. I don't think this is the choice, but still. But yes, the clock is ticking. I was under so much anxiety when I saw this because, like, gee, I hope this isn't on a 30-minute thing. Sure, I promise. Can I allow myself to believe again, even though trusting only led to the loss of Elaine? But still, I want to believe. Victor's kindness and warmth. They make feelings that had sunk into the depths of my heart rise again. I don't want to give up either. I want to live with you. Let me believe you. I'm almost in tears as I say this. Victor, who had been listening to me in silence, smiles and slowly nods. Alright, I get it. As he says this, he slowly takes his gloves off. He stares down into his own hands and gently reaches out to my cheek. Victor! I shout and try and slap his hand away, but he forcefully pulls me towards him and places both his hands on my cheeks. You're okay, don't be sad. A warm, soft feeling of human skin touching my cheek. What? But his hands don't smoke or melt. I knew it. What? How are you able to touch me? You see, the poison can disappear from Zicterium at times, during the short window of its transformation. So if your horologium is based on the same material, there was the possibility that the poison could disappear? Victor nods briefly. This explains what happened while I was being held captive by Alistair. I tried to melt the rope to escape, but my poison wasn't effective at all. Which means right now my poison is... Yeah, you're fine, see? It's all cool. Finally, I can touch you. Victor's eyes are bright as he touches his cheek against mine. It's the first time I've felt this soft warm sensation. Even more noticeable than this was the sweet burning emotion I feel. Victor, it might be alright now, but it may not be completely safe, so... Sorry. I don't want to let go. I feel like this is how I convey my feelings, all of them, to you. Yeah, okay, Victor, how did you know that? but the skin feels very hot against it. Okay, one complaint I had with this game before is when I played it, is all the boys in this game except Van get a kiss Cardia. Victor gets to kiss her, Lupin gets to kiss her, he actually gets like 3 CGs of him kissing Cardia, Impy gets to kiss her, and Saint Germain gets to kiss her. Van Helsing does not get that in this game, but the good thing is they gave it to him in the sequels. But I was very mad the first time I got it. Was like, wait, why does that boy get singled out? Embarrassment and comfort prevent me from being too firm with him. I understand your fears and your past, and all of your pain and suffering. I know very well that we can't run from the sins we've committed. Wow. Right. But it's possible for you to stay here by your side. We can carry the weight together. Victor's voice is taut with emotions as he whispers to me. His words hold nothing but endless love. Just as you said that you didn't care I'm a criminal, I don't care if you are either. I look. Yay! He said the line! Victor, zoom! Now that the Zicterium's out of her body, I can momentarily finally be romantic. Also, yes! Why did you have to say yes? Even if you give up on yourself and abandon whatever help you have, Victor's emotions, his yowie hands, I could never abandon you. His warmth spread through my body. Curses. Even if you become the whole moment is ruined by yaoi hands now. I'm not right. That wouldn't stop me from loving you. I shouldn't love anyone. You don't need to ask whether you're allowed to love me or not. If that's the case, I want to save you and live by your side. That's my only wish. I'm prepared to love him even if it breaks all logic. I don't know what kind of results this choice will lead to. It would be a lie to say that I don't have any doubts about it. This is the first future I've ever wished for myself. In the past, I didn't even have the capacity to imagine a future. I'll fight to the ends of the earth to make this vision come true. Just smiling. Really, I just want to stay here in this war, but you are on a clock. You maybe got like 10 minutes. You need to get moving. We have to get going. There isn't much time left. I'm gonna save you and touch you. With the yaoi hands. Victor must have been thinking the same thing and starts putting his gloves back on, looking downcast. I suppose we should get a move on with your yaoi hands, boy. We gotta go. Yeah, let's go. I wish you wouldn't keep looking so disappointed. We do need to keep moving. Did I look that way? Very much so. It was adorable. Oh no, I killed Z. It's fine. I needed the laugh. His carefree smile leaves me speechless for a moment. This is why I asked if you guys wanted to continue playing, because I love your guys' commentary. It makes me so happy. Let's go, Cardia! He gently holds out his hand. I start running, allowing him to pull me, and I look at him as he leads the way. Watching him, I'm assured. As long as he's with me, I have nothing to fear. All I need to do is trust in him and keep moving forward. How with his big ass hands he could run fast. He just runs like a horse. The face you're in now feels different from the hall in the passageway, but you're halfway through. Ruko. What is that? It's a big tree. Ruko smiles and gives a thumbs up. An new machine forming a massive trunk with branches and leaves that glow blue like a horologium. This strange yet mighty tree is isolated beyond a huge glass window, giving off overwhelming eeriness. Could this be the diffusion device? Why does it look like a tree? It's an interesting shape that even has a strange beauty about it. But this is a beauty that lures people to their deaths. We need to put a stop to it. And now do a response. Just then, yeah, they're still here. I thought you'd be joining us, Dr. Frankenstein and his little doll. Okay, this is a cool representation symbol for deadly poison. Victoria. Standing before us is the queen who is attempting to destroy the capital of her own country. As she basks in the glow of the tree, Victoria has an almost divine air about her. And standing at Victoria's side is her faithful knight, Leonhardt. However, right now he's saying nothing, with not even a hint of emotion in his face. Since you've followed me here, does that mean you've chosen to accept my suggestion? Come closer then. The diffusion device has already been activated. Soon London will become a city of death. Her people will instantly fall into an eternal slumber. I'm glad, at least they will not suffer. Victoria says this quietly and then extends her hand to us. But Victor shakes his head. You misunderstand. We're not here to obey you. We're here to put a stop to this outlandish plan. Show me. That's no longer up for debate. This device is already working. There is no way to stop it unless you destroy it. No! Then we'll destroy it. Victor's gaze is firm as he takes one step forward. I've studied under Isaac. I can understand his research to a certain extent. That's why I know I can destroy this device. He approaches the great machine. However, Victoria obviously doesn't just stand there quietly. Leonhardt gives Victoria a respectful salute and then takes a step towards Victor as the queen takes a step back. I won't allow anyone to interfere with Her Majesty's plans. Victor Frankenstein, I am well aware that you are not a soldier with an extensive combat training. But since you have come all this way to prepare to risk your life, I, Rempart Leonhardt, will not show you any mercy. Leonhardt takes a dueling stance, ready to fight, and Victor glares at him. He then takes out a weapon he'd been hiding, a chemical-filled test tube in his hand. He places it on the floor. What? What is this about, Dr. Frankenstein? Are you surrendering? Not at all. I wouldn't surrender. This is just how I do battle. Victor? Move out of my way, Captain Leonhardt. Do you think I won't hurt you if we don't put up a fight? You're a fool. Leonhardt charges towards Victor, his sword flashing. Leonhardt slaps Victor heavily with the flat of his sword. No, Victor! Stay back! I try to run and help him, but the urgency in his voice stops me. This is my fight. You're not really doing much fighting, but okay. Leonhardt watches as Victor slowly gets up to his feet and then gets a tight grip on his sword. Did that put you in the mood to fight? Draw your weapon. We'll settle this like men, fair and square. I already told you. I don't want to. You're being stubborn. And you're trying to rule the world with power. If I in turn make you yield using force, that would make me no better than you. So, I will fight my own way to prove that I'm right. You... His blade lashes over and over. Victor endures a rain of heavy blows from Leonhardt's sword, though he isn't using the edge. The attacks are forceful enough to break bones or crush organs, yet Victor doesn't fall. Yeah. Even after Leonhardt slams the pommel of his sword into Victor's abdomen, Victor stands and looks straight at Leonhardt. There's no anger there. He simply glares at the man in silence questioningly. Why don't you take your weapon? Once I turn my blade on you, your death is certain. Aren't you afraid of death? It really doesn't matter. If your plan succeeds, we'll all die anyway. My standing here is a matter of conviction. This demonstration of arrogance will come to an end once you're dead. We have like 20 minutes, maybe, before Cardia becomes a bomb, basically. Can we get this moving? Leonhardt readies his attack once again. The sword swings down, hitting Victor's right leg. I hear an awful sound of something break and Victor falls on the spot. Victor, please! When I see Victor fall, I want to run over to him this very second. I want to embrace him and tell him not to be so rash, to shield him, but... Victor grits his teeth against the pain, telling me to stay away with his eyes. Why, Victor? A pained whimper escapes my lips, and a noise begins coming from the glowing tree. Yeah, the tree is kind of a concern as well! The noise is chillingly cold, inciting fear within all of us. It would appear that we're out of time. This marks the end of my duties as queen. Hearing the queen's somewhat melancholic tone, Victor's fingers twitches. Not yet. I won't let it end. His fingers curl up to form a tightly clenched fist as he stands back up. How are you still able to stand? Victor stares at Leonhardt. Even though he isn't holding a weapon, the sheer intensity of Victor's gaze makes Leonhardt instinctively take a step back. If you continue to allow yourself to be hurt, you'll be dead before I get around to using the edge of my sword. If you obey, even if you die, she will be saved. Why can't you see that? So you're saying that I should save those I care about, even if it costs me my life? Exactly. That is what I believe to be the essence of true honor. That is one of the ways we differ. Victor glances over at me. He wants me to trust him. His eyes say more to me than his words, and I clasp my hands together as if in prayer. I'm such a base and cowardly man, and yet she said she would love me. That's why I won't die. I refuse to give up and leave someone I care about behind. I'm no knight, but this is the kind of honor I believe in. Do you really mean to keep fighting, waving about such a self-centered notion? I'll fight you for as long as I have to. My battle is to convince you. If you won't agree with me, then kill me. Leonhardt tightens his grip on the sword, but his movements are not as self-assured as before. Victor looks the other man straight in the eyes before he speaks again. Leonhardt, you know it, don't you? This is all wrong. Silence. My blade is for Her Majesty to direct. I am merely the arm that does the striking. Don't you understand? The only thing that awaits us down in this path is hell. Do you really think you're minimizing the damage to this world this way? What you're doing is nothing less than mass murder. You spread fear and use power to force the world to accept your views. What part of that is justice? I've had enough, Leonhardt. Kill him. But is Britain doing this going to be destroyed if you don't do this? Don't make me laugh. You think that the people of this nation are that weak? You and Victoria have nurtured this country into that today. What makes you think it's weak? Answer me. Answer me, Leonhardt. Leonhardt thrusts his sword forward in an attempt to break free from his doubts. Victor! I'm fine. Leonhardt stabs his sword through Victor's left leg. Without so much as flinching, Victor grabs Leonhardt's arm as he tries to pull the blade out. I was so full of regret when Victorian was used before. Why didn't I fight back when I had the chance? For a long time, over and over, I had dreams about what I saw that day. There is no cause worth recreating that nightmare all over again. There just isn't. Blood flows from Victor's wound. Droplets fall and splatter on the floor like tears. But I'm the sword. I support Her Majesty's wishes and will and make them reality. If Her Majesty is going to travel to that path into hell, I shall happily accompany her on that journey. That is where my faith lies. After being honored by Her Majesty with knighthood, she is my justice and my path. How can you call yourself a knight? You haven't been protecting her at all. What? Victoria is inches away from going down a path which she will never return. She's about to make a titanic mistake. If you are a true knight, if you truly care for her, you're the only one who can save her. Victor's commanding voice rings out. No one is able to move. Victor's body sways. Yeah, he was kind of stabbed. Victor! Oh, hi, Pepper. You came to pay me a visit. How you doing, puppy? How you doing? As Victor pulls his sword out of, as Leonhardt pulls his sword out of Victor's life, Victor collapses onto the ground. Hey, you can come up on the bed. Or not, you can just sit there and stare at me on the floor, that's cool too. Victoria speaks in a detached voice. Kill him, Leonhardt. He declared that he intended to stop the device. We must remove any factors that may lead to a negative outcome. Leonhardt raises his sword once more at her command. Wait! I shout and throw myself between Victor and Leonhardt to shield Victor as he lays on the floor. What do you think you're doing? Guardia, don't do this! I'm not standing aside, I don't want to. If this is your fight, then it's mine as well. I glared defiantly at Leonhardt, not showing any weakness at the man standing before me. As we face each other down, I suppose that she will transform into a monster if we allow this to go on. It's best if we kill her here and now. Victoria's voice is cold. Then we will spread the Zicterium. The results will be the same. Gah. Cut her down, Leonhardt. Leave the doctor as he is. He probably can't do much more now. Can't. Leonhardt? I can't, Your Majesty. Leonhardt bellows this and then turns to face Victoria. I've always thought of the title you bestowed upon me with honor and pride. Or pride and honor. I believed first and foremost in your ideals. However, where is the justice in murdering the good woman who stands here unarmed, to protect her friend? It would go against everything I have worked so hard to become to cut her down. Is this your idea of loyalty, Leonhardt? No, Your Majesty, it is as Dr. Frankenstein says. I do beg your pardon, but we are going down the wrong path. Leonhardt. Victor, who had been lying still beside me, begins to stir. Yeah, he's still there. Thank you for protecting me again. Victor, you can't move in your condition. I'm a real mess now, aren't I? But the same can be said about you. He smiles weakly, then slowly gets up to his feet. I'm right here, Pepper, it's okay. Putting an end to this. I'm going to stop this machine. Still dripping with red, he moves to the base of the device. He reaches towards a large control panel. His breathing is laborious and he can barely remain standing, but his fingers keep moving. Even if you're right, and this is the wrong path, I can't stop now. Victoria mutters this under her breath as Leonhardt confronts her behind us. She quietly steps forward. Fine, if you won't do it, then I will. Step aside, Leonhardt. I cannot. The device grows brighter and brighter, and its light seems to be at a peak of intensity. Stop. All I can do is help Victor as he works desperately to hold him so he doesn't fall. Come on, stop! It will go off any moment now. The device's brightness somehow makes me sense this. Step aside. I cannot. Will you stand in the way of my goals too? Victoria is visibly agitated. This is the first time the normally cool queen has shown raw emotion. Do you know how much I've had to sacrifice for the sake of this plan? You've seen it yourself, how much blood I had to spill for this. Move! Are you going to make everything that was done go to waste for this? All of that does not justify creating new victims. The device begins to rumble as its light becomes blinding. I don't close my eyes, I don't even pray. It's still too soon to give up. Victor is still putting up a fight. I won't give up either. This should do it. Please stop. Victor slams something into the device and everything goes white. Eventually... What happened? A familiar scene lies before me. There's complete silence. Victor looks at me in complete exhaustion. I deactivated. The Zicterium won't be contaminating London anymore. It can't be. I've also set a self-destruct protocol. You'll never be able to activate it again. Finally, it's over, Victoria. Victoria looks up at the device as Victor speaks, her face clearly dumbfounded. How could this happen? I had always thought that she was a strong person, but seeing her so stunned, she reminds me of an abandoned child. Victoria, the device has been stopped. There's no reason for you to continue. No, even if the device no longer works, this plan is still in motion. Victoria cuts me off and then takes out her pocket watch and smiles. I still have you, my trump card. In just a little while, you will no longer be yourself. Isn't that right? And Dr. Frankenstein no longer has the time nor strength to save you. She's right. Even if we did stop the Zectarian, if my poison spreads, London will still be destroyed. Victoria smiles a brilliant smile knowing this. That's right, nothing changes. Through our deaths, our beloved Britain will reach new heights. As if on cue, the entire room begins to shake. It's most likely a precursor to the self-destruct Victor had mentioned earlier. Your Majesty, it's dangerous. You must not be harmed. We must go. Why must I run? When everything is finally coming to an end, I'm finally going to be saved. Your Majesty, this path does not lead to your salvation. Leonhardt grabs her hand and pulls her away, but at that moment... What? Victoria stabs Leonhardt in the back with a dagger she'd been hiding. I'm sorry, Leonhardt. Let us die together. Victoria looks tired as she smiles and the bloody dagger falls from her hand and bounces to the floor, but Leonhardt... He doesn't show any signs of pain but smiles with a peaceful expression. Your Majesty, I have always respected you. Leonhardt? That is why, please pardon my disrespect. Victoria doesn't even have the time to ask what he means or even react at all. Leonhardt punches her in the stomach with a vicious fist. Victoria quickly loses consciousness and Leonhardt quietly catches her. Victor, Leonhardt, you both need to do something about your bleeding. As I treat Victor's wound, I look over to Leonhardt as well. He simply shakes his head silently as if to say there's no time. Dr. Frankenstein, I'm going to escort Her Majesty to a safe place. I know that I'm in no place to ask this, but can I leave the rest to you? Of course. That's what I intend to do here anyway. I'm sorry. Leonhardt disappears into the darkness carrying the queen. Victor smiles sweetly at me as the shaking continues to grow more violent. No time to rest. Now all we need to do is save you. I look up at the pocket watch and see that there's less than 10 minutes remaining, which means that my body's already at its limits. It's probably only a matter of time before I lose control of myself. But I'm not alone. I'm ready for this. During the brief period that she's unconscious, Victoria dreams. A dream of days long past far out of her reach. When she was younger, Queen Victoria was kind and timid, so much that when the butterfly she took as a pet died, she shut herself in her room for a week. As she grew, she developed into an intelligent woman, gaining the attention of those around her. Her father, King Edward, had been heavily involved in wars among the colonies. Being clear-headed, she understood that the future source of unrest. That is when she advised countless times to end the war and search for a road for peace. But as a result, she provoked the displeasure of her father, the king. Then one day, she accompanied him to one of those colonies and saw the horrors firsthand. The local people were treated like slaves. She saw people looking at her with eyes filled with hatred. Seeing this convinced her. She must steer the country herself, or it will become a target of anger and hatred from other countries and be expunged. As Victoria continued to grow, she started gaining political power on her own, and Edward began to see her as a nuisance. Edward made plans to have Victoria assassinated. Victoria heard about the assassination attempt. She made the decision that she had to kill her father and poison him. She then took up the throne and did everything she could to clean up the mess her father left behind. She was willing to make small sacrifices to eliminate greater evils. Time and time again, she stained her hands with blood. Eventually, she stopped shedding tears over the sacrifices she made. She stood atop a great mound of corpses that she herself had created, and charged along a treacherous path, never looking back once. Now this long and hard journey finally comes to an end. Finally, she would be relieved of her burden of being the queen. Or so she thought. She hoped even. Nope, you don't get that. She wakes surrounded by a gentle warmth. She opens her eyes and sees that she's being carried by Leonhard as he walks. His feeling is familiar. She finds herself thinking back. Years ago, Victoria had almost been a victim of a political assassination. Leonhard had risked his life to save hers, just as he's doing now. He had scooped her up and carried her back to a safe place when she was wounded and unable to move on her own. She was still happy back then, but now... You're awake, Your Majesty. Leonhard speaks softly to her, noticing her stirring slightly in his arms. His loyalty to her remains completely unclouded even after she stabbed him. It makes her feel so small, and it's also bittersweet. The plan is ruined. Everything has gone to waste. You're an enemy of the state, Leonhard. And I understand and shall gladly accept whatever form of punishment is deemed necessary. Why, I thought I could trust you. Why would you too turn against me? If I may, Your Majesty, to this day I have never once been against you, and for all of eternity I swear to you to be your loyal knight, devoted to you completely. Victoria remains silent, thinking over what his words might mean. She looks down and sees Leonhard's blood dripping down his back has left a trail on the street. Undeniable proof in her attempt to end his life. She lets this sink in and mutters. Leonhard, are you going to die? Never. I would never leave you alone. Then, I have an order for you, Leonhard. If that girl, if she does not become a true monster, kill me. I will take responsibility for the failure of my plan. I cannot. Why not? I've killed so many people and all of it is about to go to waste. I need to take responsibility, don't I? These hands, they've already been tainted with the blood that I don't even want to look at them anymore. She has lost all her queenly composure. She tears off her royal regalia and clings it to Leonhard. Please let me rest in peace, I beg of you. Please save me. But Leonhard, her faithful knight, I cannot. He repeats it slowly like a parent persuading a child. Britain still has need of your continued leadership and strength. Without you, Britain would have disappeared from the world long ago. Death is not the same as taking responsibility. You need to live so that you can continue saving Britain. Overestimate me. I've always been making false show of my power. I've been so scared I don't know what it has to take to run an empire. I beg to differ. While still young, you shared your belongings with a petty thief like me, and made me a knight of the realm. Thanks to you, my bedridden sister was able to live and die in peace. I have never once forgotten your generosity to this day, Your Majesty. Victoria smiles in self-deprecation and shakes her head in response. I was just appealing to the public. I didn't care about saving you. I merely did it to impress upon the public that I was a kind and generous ruler. She didn't mean to say this, but she can no longer hide who she really is from Leonhard. She should at least be allowed to admit the whole truth now that it's over. I just wanted the people to be on my side. He must be so disappointed in me, now that I have nothing left, not even the loyalty of my best knight. She thinks this. I hope you don't take me for a fool. What? Leonhard puffs out his cheeks indignantly, like an angry child. It is indisputable fact that you saved me and my family. Ever since that day, I've been watching you from a distance, and still more closely than anyone else. I know how deeply saddened you were when sacrifices had to be made, and how, when you stained your hands with blood, you faced these realities of your crimes head-on without looking away. You are my queen, my loyalties lie with you. Let us live together, we will endure the pain together, and if you say you will eventually fall into hell, when that time comes, I, Rimpart Leonhard, shall accompany you to those same depths myself. It has been some time since she felt anything, but her knight's words find their way into her heart. They gradually spread within her and fulfill her. You won't do me the favor of killing me. You're cruel. The cruelest of all people I've ever met. Also the kindest. Victoria shuts her eyes. A single tear rolls down her cheek. This tear, the first she has shed since she killed her father with her own hands. And Cardia's still not got much time left. The rumbling in the room is growing stronger. The entire room will most likely be buried underground soon. The time limit is almost upon us. The room will be destroyed and I'll no longer be me. There's only a short while left. Cardia, can you stand? I think so. Before the diffusion... Device self-destructs. I'm going to extract Zicterium and introduce it into your body. The extraction will take some time, but I'm sure it will save you. It takes time! Yes, your time is up in 5 minutes. It'll probably take approximately 7 minutes for me to fully extract the Zicterium. Yeah, that's an extra 2 minutes we don't have, buddy! What about those other 2 minutes?! Don't worry, I'll make your poison disappear before it leaks through the outside. Victor smiles warmly in an attempt to calm me, but he avoided answering the most important question, which gives me a bad feeling. What will happen to you? You're going to be so close to me. What's going to happen? Don't worry about me. I'll take care of it. You're not answering my question! It's not that there's no chance of success. Do you remember when we got caught up in the poisonous Zicterium gas before? When it took in the Zicterium, the Horologium should have stopped its transformation momentarily. So according to my calculation, that bought us a little extra time. That's not reassuring at all! If you're wrong about this, it's fine, you'll be alright. I free myself from Victor's hands with all my strength I can muster. I don't want to risk his life when the stakes are so high, but I might as well, just as I'm thinking this. I lose control of my body and collapse onto the floor on the spot. I can't even choose death for myself now. Even though at this rate I know I'm going to be the cause of Victor's death. Hurry up, I'm going to tell you again. Trust me. Victor gives me a sideways glance as I lie there, unable to move as he continues working on the controls with trembling hands. I'm extracting just the poison in a liquid form so you can take it into your body. With a thump, I feel something inside my body move. I desperately try and push it back. Desperately trying to push back something trying to spill out of me. That's enough. Meeting you and being able to love you, it gave me the happiness I needed. So please kill me. I won't let you die. I can't let you die, never. My arms are heavy as lead, but I manage to move it and look down at the pocket watch. My hand is about to reach 0. Once again, someone I care about, someone who says they love me, someone I love myself is going to die because of me. Please. Tears spill from my eyes, blurring my view of Victor. At that moment, the clock hand reaches 0. Everything must... Basically, what Victoria is trying to do is something similar to Cujo's. Everything must die with me. Or maybe similar, death leads to selfish. Yeah, Horologium begins to emit an intense heat. The sensation, not quite pain or burning, runs through my entire body. Ah! A bright light bursts forth from my chest, filling the entire room with blinding brightness when my back arches against my wall, my body undergoing a transformation. The poison oozes from out of me and I begin to change into something else. Victor! Just a little while longer. Hang in there, Cardia. Victor shouts an echo in the back of my ear. My vision of Victor is gradually starting to turn blurry. Okay, now we're at a choice. The top one is the good end, because we have enough of the top with them, and the bottom one is the bad end. Which one do you want to see first? Because we can do both. Bad! Okay. Bad! We're going bad! I'm at my limit. If the poison seeps out of my skin and comes in contact with the air and rises from my body as steam, we gotta suffer before we get relief. Just breathing this means death for you, Victor. That's why. Victor! Yes! It'll be ready soon! I just finished extracting— I'm sorry. I use all the strength I have left to drive the dagger I'd been carrying into my own chest. Suddenly the Horologium begins to give out a large shrieking noise. For a fleeting moment, light floods and engulfs the entire area. Cardia? When the light subsides, I'm resting in Victor's arms. Why would you? I smile weakly. I'm glad. This time I stopped myself from killing the person I love. Cardia! No. Please don't die, please! I stop Victor as he tries to treat me and gently lift my hand towards him. Hey, Victor. I want you to hold my hand. I want to feel you until the very end. Victor gently takes my hand, trembling first and then squeezing it tight. Thank you, Victor. I was happy because you loved me. Drowsiness takes over. Please stop. I was able to experience the joy of loving you. You can't do this to me, Cardia. I slowly close my eyes. So thank you. Then I feel myself heading into a warm, dark abyss. Cardia. Why must I go through this again? I can't even save the person I love. Cardia! Bye, Cardia. I think I had a dream where she was smiling. She was walking through a deserted city. Hey look, it's such a nice day today. She said something trivial like that, and she was smiling joyfully. That's all the dream was. But I was crying in the dream. I notice the sunlight coming through the window, and then I wake up. Birds are chirping outside the window, but it's quiet inside the room. I look out the scene outside in a daze. The soft morning light makes everything look so peaceful, yet something about it seems melancholic. There's a knock at the door. Yes? Good morning, Victor. Do you have a moment for a chat? Sure. The door opens and the Count steps in. It looks like Lupin and Impy are leaving for today. I see. So they aren't going to be staying here any longer. Yes, it looks like they're going further out to find whatever it is that Impy is looking for. What about Van Helsing? Has he gotten in touch since then? He hasn't. I see. After everything, Van Helsing left London. As he left, he mentioned that he was going to fulfill his promise to Delacroix too. I wonder if he was able to reunite with the vampire boy, who left London and never came back amidst all the turmoil. I also wonder whether he became their revenge. These are all the things I have no way of knowing, along with Van Helsing's whereabouts. It would be nice if Delacroix gave up on his revenge and Van Helsing lives in peace. Yes, indeed. Also, I think I will depart from here as well. Depart? Isn't this your mansion? Yes, but I'm thinking I might want to head back to France. My job here has been completed. Your job? Yes, a very boring and sad job. I see. Victor, what do you intend to do now? Well, let's see. I'm thinking of returning to the court. Ah, the recommendation. Yes, I've given it some thought. I heard about how Victoria intends on changing the course into a more peaceful route. And I figured that I would want to be of use to someone. It would be best if I continued my research in alchemy. I think that's a superb decision. It looks like your time has finally begun moving forward once again. My time? Indeed, your time. I think about what he means for a moment, then smile. Today, I saw her in a dream. She was smiling happily. That might be what got me going. I see. My guy, shut up! Saint Germain, wow, she's dead, my job's done! Yes, I'm sure she will be happier that way. I'll probably never forget about her, but I decided that I have to stop mourning her. I need to do my best for her sake, and live life to the fullest from now on. And we made this boy even sadder than he already was. Yeah, we got Lupin's route. We're not doing your route at the moment. Okay, back here. Embrace the sad Victor. No, shoot! I left and I hit no! Okay, I believe in you. As the poison seeps out of my skin and comes in contact with the air, it rises from my body as steam. I probably have less than a minute before I turn into something else. If I let myself become a monster, it'll end up killing the one person I care about most. Just like before. My hands begin reaching for the dagger on my own, but I grip my arm tightly with my other hand and resist. He touched my cheek, touched our foreheads together, and said that he loved me. I won't give up. Victor told me again and again to keep believing. He loves me, and I love him. If I can't trust what he says, then what else can I possibly trust? Cardia! He props me up as he yells out my name in desperation. Feeling his beloved warmth, I utter his name with trembling lips. Victor... Hold on, drink this! He pours a glowing blue liquid from a test tube into my mouth, but it's too late. I no longer have control of my body. The liquid he pours into my mouth just spills down my chin. Damn it! In a daze, my eyelids slowly fall. Everything's going to end soon. My feelings, Victor's life, all of London will be submerged in a sea of poison, just as I'm thinking this. Don't worry, this boy's got a way to do that! A maddening warm sensation gently touches my lips. At the same time, something sweet fills my mouth and gently slides down my throat. All I can feel is a strong embrace and the sensation of soft lips against mine. See? Even this boy gets it! Of course! This shouldn't be a surprise to you! My throat reflexively gulped. Choco's made me laugh more than anything. Slowly, ever slowly, something sweet fills my right. Victor? Feeding me Victoria from my mouth to mouth can't be safe at all. I like how that's her concern. This isn't hygienic. I open my eyes wide in surprise and Victor smiles, our lips still pressed together. Right now I just want to bask in this joyful warmth. So many things have happened to me, more than I could ever imagine while living in the mansion alone. The kiss of death! I went on an adventure with everyone. With Victor, I cried, I felt angry, and laughed. In the end, I was able to feel Victor's warmth with my whole entire body. Even if I die here, I can say with pride that I was happy. I was able to love you and be loved by you. Now that's romantic! I'm probably the happiest person in the entire world. No matter what the outcome, I want Victor's face to be the last thing I see. With these thoughts, I open my eyes, which has been drifting shut. Oh, I'm awake! The shaking grows more violent, and the device is giving off a more intense light. Yeah, it's still gonna explode! I can hear Victor's labored breathing right beside me. Victor, how can you be so reckless? I'm... alright. The effects of Zicterium increase dramatically when it changes into from a liquid to a gaseous form. That's the reason it was used as a gas weapon instead of a poison. In the white- yeah, you're still kind of poisoned! In the white light, he smiles once again to reassure me. I can't say it's completely harmless, but in its liquid form, it's not instantly fatal. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's not fatal eventually! There's no way I could abandon you to die alone in the first place. We're going to live together. That's what I decided. With the white as the white light engulfs everything, I smile towards Victor. Victor responds with his own best smile. I love you, Cardia. I love you too. We smile at one another, and then the thing explodes. Then everything disappears into a white light. Yeah, that thing was still exploding. Yeah! We got his! And then we get the epilogue! Happy end! And then they die! Happy ends! So this is Victor's route. It's not a bad route. It's better than like Impy's and St. Germain's and stuff. But it's not my favorite. It's okay. I would say maybe Lupin's is slightly better, but it's still not my favorite. But Lupin's also kind of links all the routes together, so you have like all the characters for all the other routes in Lupin's, because of course he's the main boy. Yeah, but why must they die? And then they got the sequel where it's like, okay, you went through enough, now here's your happy things, and for some reason you can date Shomes in it, which I don't know why you would date Shomes, but at least they also give you a segment where you can have adventures with Deli and him being basically your son with Cece, so you got that going for you. Also, I was thinking how Lupin is canon because the story and it's stupid, and you don't have the other routes, and then you don't have the other routes if you want the main story, like just make them all canon. No, apparently, like, Lupin is main canon for some reason. Like, if you look up, like, any of the merchant stuff, like, Lupin gets the most, then it's St. Germain for some reason that has the most, then it's Victor, then it's Van Helsing, and then Impy has, like, a washcloth. Cece! I wake up to Cece's barking as usual, that early bird dog. Good morning, Cece. Woof! Cece barks back energetically and then jumps off the bed and darts out the room. Bright sunlight comes through the window, shining through my eyelids. I'm still half dreaming. A dream about all that happened. Back there, Victor and we were scrambling to escape from the crumbling facility, pushing our fatigued bodies past their limit, just when we thought we wouldn't make it. Our boys show up. Lupin and the others who had just followed us found us and let us out. Amidst that, Victor looked a little bit frustrated, saying he couldn't even rescue me on his own. Oh, shut up. You're fine. After that, we fell into a deep sleep prompted by overwhelming exhaustion. And thus, the string of incidents came to a close. Cardia's harem shut up. I prop myself up as I think about all this. Good morning, Cardia! I hear a kind voice from behind me. I see there, a boy, smiling. Victor. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep getting these hiccups. You were completely knocked out. Maybe the party last night was too tiring? That's right. After Victoria's plans came to nothing and the situation in London had settled down, everyone decided to leave the mansion and pursue their respective paths in last night as a farewell party. Ah, that's right. I was so sad when I thought about how this was goodbye. Stay with me, Victor. And then you started pulling on my sleeve and everyone teasing us. Don't remind me. As I remembered everything, it suddenly became embarrassed. It's super cute. I'm glad my hiccups are cute. Where is everyone? They said they would leave this morning, but are they still around? No, they all left earlier. Oh no, I wanted to see them off. You should have woken me up. I suggested that, but they said it was fine since they'd all said their goodbyes yesterday. And also that it would be tough to leave if you started bawling again. I didn't cry! Yes, you did. I look away, thinking about the others in a daze. Lupin and Impy went off to pursue their original goal of finding something. Two of them left, saying that they wanted to expand their search area. Basically, Impy's, I can sum this up for you, is he wanted a machine that was stolen from him that Nemo has, who Nemo is that purple-haired dude that you saw during the airship race. It's basically just Impy and Nemo through his whole route. It seemed that Van Helsing was prepared to die by Deli's hands in order to atone for his past, but ultimately he left saying he wanted to work with Deli to do as much as possible he could for the vampires. Then St. Germain, being the kinky boy he is, probably went to go strangle some other girl. He went to leave for France. I hope everyone does well. I say this to myself and bring my feet around off the bed. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Victor. I guess the one who had asked you to stay with me, but I guess I fell asleep. I'm sorry, Choco. Don't worry about it. I got to see your sleeping face, so that was a major perk for me. Sleeping face? Did I look funny? Not at all, actually. I couldn't take my eyes off you. You were so cute. How dare you! Victor's comment embarrasses me and I try and hide my face behind the sheet. Perhaps this strikes him as funny and I can hear him struggling a snort that he's trying to hold back laughter. There's no need to hide. Oh yeah, I forgot we get this CG. Oh, no wait, not yet, okay. But I would hate if you had to put, if I had put you off somehow with my poor sleeping habits. When I mutter this, Victor smiles softly at me. It had the opposite effect, really, having spent one night with you. When you talk or toss around in your sleep, every little motion, it was just so adorable. Oh, here's Victor Benzie! I feel called out. Every time I look at your sleeping face, I just felt so much happiness from the bottom of my heart that we love each other. Really? Yes, I was already really happy when you asked me to stay with you. As a guy, it's always nice to have a girl who relies on you, or it can be the girl who gets the girl, buddy. Or the dude who gets the dude. Or however you identify, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're happy. It's because you're special to me. I'm modern, princess. Just kidding. Exchanging embarrassing words like this is a sign of how much we care for one another. It tickles a little bit, but I'm so happy. Victor seems to be debating saying something and then he looks right at me. Since it's just gonna be the two of us living here from now on. Victor keeps opening and closing his mouth like he's having a hard time putting his thoughts into words. You can kind of see where this is going. His voice is also redder than usual for some reason. He gets a determined look in his face, then takes a deep breath before turning back to me. He's still bright red. Finally he speaks. Buddy, feeling called out for being so cute. Do you want to start sleeping in the same bed today? Huh? Alright, can Cardia have children? I don't remember what I asked before. They do actually say it can be canon that Cardia can have children as long as the poison effect, of course, is cancelled out, or some things are going to be melting. But in the sequel, at least they do confirm that Cardia can, because in all of those, the poison issue gets solved. I think except for St. Germain's, because I haven't seen. Because in St. Germain's, she still has the poison. And I can show you the CGs of that in a minute. So I don't know how it is in the sequels, because I've been kind of avoiding St. Germain's since I hate him. But I know in the other ones, like in Victor's and Van Helsing's and Lupin's and all that, they all get solved, so she can. And I think in Impy's. I don't know. I haven't looked at Impy's either. It's not like that. It's completely innocent and, well, I guess it would be a lie to say completely innocent. It would? Well, you know, I mean, no, that's not what I meant to say. Okay, so the Cardi can do the do. She can do the do as long as she doesn't have poison. Victor clears his throat and pushes his glasses back up to his nose. Yeah, sure, Victor. There are extra rooms, so it's not absolutely necessary for us to sleep in the same one. But I just want to be able to stay with you as long as possible. It's okay to be honest. It's okay, boy. Take your time. I would really enjoy it if the first thing when I see you I wake up is your face. Is that not good enough reason? It just feels hot. It's not just the stone going to explode. I can't bring myself to say anything in response and simply nod, wanting to hug him right then and there. But I can't do that. I place my hand over my chest and exhale in distress. It's stable now, but the situation with the Horologia remains the same. If we sleep in the same bed, I may hurt you without meaning to. I knew it would be this way, but even after everything was settled, there would still be no happy ending waiting for me. No matter how much I love him, this poisonous body won't change. I look down as I tell him this, and Victor gently places a hand on my shoulder. Listen, Cardia, do you remember what I promised you when we first met? Promise? Yes, I said that I'd cure you of your poison no matter what. Oh. Yeah, that whole thing that he's been going around through his whole route. Just as Impy said, I think your poison has more to do with alchemy than with medicine. Then I might be able to save you. I'm going to keep trying, and I promise I will find a cure for you. Remember that Victor had promised me. He's true to words and has been researching the poison all this time. Not a single day has gone by that I haven't thought about that promise. After we stopped Victoria's plane in the underground storage facility, It really was fortunate for us that we got a hold of some Zixarium samples. Victor smiles kindly and then takes a test tube out of his pocket. It's filled with a liquid that sparkles and gives off light. What's this? Drink it. I guarantee it'll do something that'll make us both happy. I can't guarantee it'll taste good though. With Victor's lighthearted prompting, I raise the tube to my lips and drink. It has a subtly sweet flavor, and I can feel something spreading through my entire body, filling it. I feel a little warm. It must be working then. Let's give this a try. Victor smiles and pulls me towards him. There's the CG. Guardian. Why did that make me laugh so much? He places his lips gently over mine. I panic and try to push him away, but his strong arms only— He don't got strong arms, he got noodle arms. But I don't hear or smell any burning flesh, which is always good. I feel the horrible sensation of melting skin rolling down my face. Oh, wow! This is what I meant! He continues kissing me, wanting me. Am I just growing, burning out? Cardia, chill, you're gonna get a heart attack. Right now I'm able to feel Victor all in my soul. I'm able to feel his warmth in my body. I'm feeling a slight guilt reading this. Hi boy, what's going on? Good, it works. Victor, what is this? What happened to me? This medicine suppresses your poison. You'll need to take it regularly, but now we don't have to worry about it anymore. I can't stop the one lower part suppresses the poison. I fully realize what he says and joy begins to flower within my heart. Then, can I touch? I mean, he's kind of already been doing that. Of course. Can I kiss you and sleep together with you? By all means. I'm so happy you performed a miracle for me. Miracle's a bit of an overstatement. I just did what I could. And it wasn't just me, Cardia. You fought this too. And the pain and the suffering, the sadness, you stood up to all those things and wanted to make you run away. All this made it possible because the two of us refused to give up. Victor. Guys, this is why I'm no good around romantic stuff when I'm down with the gun. Being able to touch you and be so close to you makes me so happy. I keep laughing, I'm so sorry. I'm happy too, but I feel like we're only just starting now. If we stick together, we can get better and better. I promise that I'll make you happy. I love you and I'll keep seeing you smile. And I'm gonna make you smile too. That won't be a problem, just having you by my side. That's reason enough for me to smile. And then they kiss again. Bunch of nerds. Let them be happy, have children, and little CCs. Yes, let little CCs run around. That would be adorable. Yay! I get the extra scene with Victor. The world with you. Okay, so I can show you some of the CGs for that's not what I want. I want this one. I can show you some of the CGs for the other boys or outs. I can't show Lupin's because you can only do that when you've done all of them, and if you want to see them, I can always just take pictures of them for you at a different time. But that's why these ones aren't unlocked. So you got all the bands. So wait, hold on, we'll go back to Lupin's and we'll show you those too. So you got him smiling. Then we got this one, which this one's pretty. And you can actually zoom in on these, but I don't remember how to zoom in. How do I zoom in? It says the right stick to zoom in and out. There we go, there it's working. Good job! Then we got this one. We got the sad one. We got this one. We got Choco's favorite. We got my other sad one, which is pretty. We got sad boy. We got other sad boy. We got more sad boy where I gotta call him out, which is cool. We got this extra sad one where he cries. We got extra sad, which actually made me cry the first time. Then we got this one. I know we got the extra scenario one. I'm only gonna make it pop up for a second. But Choco, word of warning for you. And then we got this one. This boy being cute. We got this one with Victor. We got them jumping off stop. We got sad boy. We got I scrolled down. We got this joke. We got another sad boy. Extra sad boy. Victor and Yowie hands. Kiss. Kiss. And then I don't got the other one yet because I didn't do the extra scenario. I wasn't looking! We got this one. I scrolled down to the YouTube page. It's fine. We got this one. We got Impy kicking a man into space. We got them falling off an airship. We got that one. The one of Cardia hugging Victor is very cute and wholesome, but it is. Oh, we got baby Impy. Oh, we got that one. Oh, we got another airship scene. Then we got this one. We got a kiss, and I think the next one is the other one from his. Nope, that's okay, it's the next one. It's just shirtless and the boy's got no nipples. Then we got this one. Oh, we got him stabbing Finis. Then we got this one before he strangles her. Then we got the strangle one. Then we got it where he fights Guinevere. Why did he become so stupid? Baby Imp is wholesome. Then we got this one. Then we got it where he decides to burn his face for some reason. Then we got this where he's wounded and it's like, oh no, isn't this sad? And I honestly did not care. Then we got this one where he's sad, but I don't care. Oh, I didn't want to zoom in! Then we got this one! Then we got a kiss. And then we got this one, and I don't care. And then we just got these little ones that you get throughout different events in the story. He comes off so stupid, my dude. What the heck? Chill. So that's all the CGs! For the moment. They have other ones with Lupin and stuff that are pretty. But, I'm more looking forward to the ones I get with Deli in the sequel that I haven't done yet because I have to go through all the routes, which means I have to see Shomes and all that, but I'll probably just skip through them because I don't care about Shomes. We need a dating route with CC2, damn. I want a summary of Saint Germain. You mean his main story? Because I can tell you the summary of Saint Germain's main story, no problem. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. Shomes must die. Yeah, I don't like Shomes. He's awful. Okay, so basically, I will just go back to the CGs and I will explain his story because it's a lot easier with pictures. Where is it? Okay. So this is where Cardia meets Saint Germain. You're thinking, oh, he's kind of cool. Maybe he's okay. Saint Germain's story. Okay. So this is where we first meet Saint Germain, and it's like, oh, this boy's kind of cool. Maybe he's blind. Maybe that's why his eyes are closed all the time. And that's what I assumed, and I was wrong, sadly. So that kind of sucks. So after the events that lead up to Chapter 8, we find Finis, who's Saint Germain, whose name I almost forgot for a minute, goes and stabs him, and he's like, oh, you forgot about Idea. And Finis is like, wait, Idea? You mean that group that we're not going to go in yet for a couple chapters? And Saint Germain's like, yeah, that's the group. Do you know the group? And then Finis was finished. And then Cardia's like, I can't stay here anymore, I need to leave. And Saint Germain's like, yo, you wanna leave? I got this cool extra mansion like a couple streets down. You can come there, won't that be cool? And Cardia's like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool, let's go there. So once we go there, Cardia ends this is the drum. So once they go there, Cardia is like, hey, this is a pretty nice mansion, it kind of looks exactly like the other one you have down the street. And Saint Germain's like, yeah, haha, funny coincidence, huh? So they have dinner, which Saint Germain promptly poisons and knocks her the heck out. So then he decides, you know what, I have to kill you, that's my job, so I'm gonna strangle you. Because that's the proper thing to do. And if you don't resist in this, he just flat out stabs you.
And then after getting, having this whole incident happen, you've got like another 2 or 3 days where you're still imprisoned. Cardia can't leave the room. She can't break the windows because they're all like bulletproof or some other crap. Like she throws a chair at it and the chair just breaks. And she can't melt the walls because Saint Germain had prepared for this and used the same chemical all over everything in the room, so she can't melt anything. Except for I think the keyhole, which she figures out she can do that and melts the keyhole and breaks out and runs. So basically when she breaks out and runs, she runs into Guinevere, who is the person in the metal and things like that, who is trying to kill Cardia, who appears in a couple of the routes, but it's not really important. And Saint Germain gets into a couple fights with her and gets injured, and it's like, oh shoot, we'll just let you guys deal with that, I got other crap to do. Okay, and then you get Saint Germain's backstory where he's actually like over 1,000 years old, something like that. I think this was back in the Dark Ages and things. And Saint Germain, before he got recruited by Idea, which is basically God's group of people that go and kill people who are going to ruin humanity, and they're targeting Cardia because she's poisonous. Saint Germain, back in the Dark Ages, back in the Dark Ages, Saint Germain had saved one kid, and because he did that, it caused the Black Plague and killed all those people. Yeah, that's my reaction too. And because he killed all those people, he's like, oh shoot, I gotta atone for that crap. That was pretty bad. I should not save people. That's not cool. And then Cardia's like, oh, well that kind of sucks. But that's okay because I still love you. And Saint Germain's like, yeah, but I'm not really exactly human either, and you can't really stay around me, so he takes her glove off and smacks it against his face and is like, look, I can just keep regenerating, I can keep getting stabbed and all this, and it's not gonna do much. So, yeah. How is he alive? Because he's immortal, because he was recruited by God. And when all this is going on, Idea shows up, and all that kind of stuff, and he gets his ass whipped by Guinevere and the other people of Idea, and he's like, I can't let her die because I love her, and Idea's like, yeah, but she's gotta die because she kind of has poison in her, and that's pretty bad for humanity, and we can't really have that get out. And he's like, but no, she's hot. And so he's convincing them, he's like, please, I'm begging you, Eve and all the other people in Idea, do not kill her, she's hot. And he eventually convinces them enough by saying that she's hot that they agree and they let them live. And it's like, oh, this is pretty cool, I got my girl here, things are pretty Gucci. And then they run off, they give the mansion to everyone else, and they go off to explore and have funny, immortal times. He's hot and pretty. So they leave the mansion to them, they go off and have adventures, and Cardia is like, would you please stop kissing because you're gonna melt? And he's like, dude, I'm immortal, this ain't got nothing on me, I'm gonna kiss you. That's the fictional ladies. And then this was just the scene where you get the extra little scenarios kind of thing. But Saint Germain, you don't get to see him shirtless because he's not that kind of man. He's one of God. He waits till marriage to take off his top. And there you go, there's Saint Germain's story. That's it. That's that boy. And then just for Victor's optional one, he doesn't really get a shirtless one. You could say it's kind of a shirtless one, but it's not really because the whole scenario involves a caterpillar going down Victor's shirt. And Cardia thinks it's poisonous, so she tries and rips his sweater off to get the bug out, while Victor screams at her. That's it, that's their scenario. Like this one you have Impy cooling off with CC and playing with him. This one you just got Cardia walks in on him undressing. Van Helsing is Cardia makes breakfast and walks in on him waking up. Lupin's is Lupin comes home after coming home from a storm, and Cardia still has not really encountered storms before. So she's like, wait, Lupin's gonna get super sick by being covered in water and throws towels at him going, don't die, Lupin. So yeah, that's basically all the good stories on this one. And if you want me to go in details on Lupin's, I don't mind, or if you want me to play through it, it should not take long at all to do Lupin's, because I can just skip through and go to his. But for now, I'm done, and my room is getting really warm, so I need to turn things off. But thank you for watching! I hope you all had fun. It was a lot of fun. I want main plot. Okay, if you both want me to do the story, I don't mind doing Lupin's. It doesn't take long at all. We just need to schedule a time when we all— I want main plot! Okay! Just warning, Sholmes is gonna be in it a lot. I know you hate him, but he's gonna be in there. Thank you for watching though. Bye bye!